Hey, and good morning, everybody. Meteorologist Greg Majeski back with you here. Just decided I was going to do a little coverage this morning and didn't want to cut a video, so I'm just going to do some severe weather work today. So, hope you guys having a great day. It was a long night for some folks across the southeast, that's for sure. Had a lot of active weather moving through the area, and we've got a lot of active weather going through the Carolinas right now with some pretty active weather. So, broadcasting only on YouTube only today. So we're doing pretty good right now. And going to watch these storms here coming on through. Again, the big thing with this has always been the energy with this system. Just a tremendous amount of wind energy. This big low that bottomed out, I think it was about 981 millibars that was kind of racking up in the middle of the country. It was a significant storm to say the least. That is for sure. Go over here to Radar Omega here. Let's check out some of this action here. Definitely seeing some heavy rains here. Boy, there's a camera here in Charlotte. Let's take a look, see how bad it looks there in Charlotte right now. Oh yeah, look at it. There's Charlotte. Boy, they're getting hammered pretty good right now. Getting hit pretty well. Pretty good intense thunderstorm moving through there. Very windy. That's at the football stadium there. And you can see the heavy action coming down through Charlotte right now as we speak. So it is definitely very, very strange. A lot of very intense on that line, all up and down that thing. Seeing a lot of heavy rain, not a lot of lightning of this. Don't see any real lightning. It's just a very sharp boundary with a lot of the energy with this, and then it kind of goes on down toward the south, and not so bad down here toward the south. So everything's up here into the Carolinas right now. That's where the main gist of everything's going on. That's the short-term radar. Let's go back to Greenville here. There we go. So pretty good action going on in here right now. This is where it's going to be for today as we're looking at your outlook there. So we got that enhanced area this morning really for these storms moving through the Carolinas right now. And that's going to be where the highest other threats are going to be. The wind threat's going to be the big thing. That's the huge thing. The tornado threat's there, running about 5% there. And the brown and the wind energy, obviously running 30%, running very high. As there's a tremendous amount of jet energy has been going with this. We had wind gusts here through Georgia, northwest Georgia had wind gusts up to about 60 miles per hour. Pretty rough as this was kind of moving on through. So you can kind of see the frontal system there back off to the west. There's two fronts that are actually moving through. We've got the one that's already moving through Georgia right now. Then the next one is really going to bring a nice cool down there behind this one as this comes on in. And then you can kind of see the satellite picture here. This is the big boy right here. This thing still setting up blizzard conditions there, but you got this one. It's been almost like a pinwheel spoke machine there. It really has been really kind of crazy seeing this kind of moving on through. And you can kind of see the watches and warnings here. Again, still can't believe we still got blizzard warnings. It wasn't a tremendous amount of snow, but you got blizzard warnings up there across Iowa and southern Minnesota, even some up here in the UP and Michigan. And then we got our severe weather down here with this system. So a very complex system, one of the ones that you don't normally see that often, that is for sure. So we'll go back to local radar here, kind of watch what's going on with these storms here across the Carolinas this morning. Yeah, I'm a little dragging. I was doing that severe weather coverage yesterday a little bit. I gotta send this text message real quick. All right. Let's see here. So anyway, let's go into Charlotte. Let's go look at a couple of these other cameras. Here's one that's out ahead of the system. That's the football guy. Not bad here. It's kind of interesting. This camera's going to go downhill real quick here to the east of Charlotte because you look at this. This should be getting better now. Yeah, look at a little bit better. Pretty good downpour going through downtown Charlotte right now. But this camera, they're about ready to get the worst of it here real soon. So we'll see some pretty gusty winds blowing through there real soon as this comes on in. Pull back out here a little bit. See us going. If you guys are new to the channel, I appreciate giving you a quick subscribe. Be nice to have you on board if you're one of my regulars. Yeah, I'm kind of surprised I'm on here. I did not want to do a video this morning. I was dragging really bad from last night's coverage, so I said, you know what? Let's just do some more severe weather coverage. That's how I enjoy doing this. This is fun. So we got 8 different warnings right now, kind of lined up here from the North Carolina border going all the way down toward Columbia. So this is where all our warnings are at. There was like a tornado warning earlier, but I haven't seen anything. So that's one thing you got to watch along these lines. You'll get these spin ups that'll kind of show up right along the boundary. And right now it's parallel to it's in a bad position because it's perpendicular to the radar. So can't really get a good see on that. As it goes by, I'll be able to see it a little bit better. That's for sure. As it gets over here toward the west, this is probably a little bit too far away. Yeah, too far away. So we'll go back over the Greenville radar here. Stay on the Greenville one. I'm really interested to see what this camera looks like when it goes there. It's getting darker. All right, it's starting to pick up. Seeing that clouds get a little darker. Should we see the wind start whipping those trees pretty good here as this comes on through. Didn't sound too bad when it moved through my area. I'm up in northeast Georgia. It wasn't too bad. But yeah, that's where the most intense stuff is. I want to go take a look see here what it looks like with the snow version of this. I'll come back to this, but I want to look at the I want to put this in winter mode. I want to see what the precipit's doing up this way here. Not looking too bad there. Just thinking, see if much snow. There's the snow. There's some of the heavy snows there across Iowa. That's what's giving them their little whiteout conditions. Winds around this low have been going about 60 miles per hour. So there's your snows up there. Let's see what it looks like up here in Minnesota. Yeah, I got more up here, St. Paul again, blowing snow. Snowfall amount's not through the roof with this thing, but just a tremendous amount of wind. I know they had whiteout conditions. Kansas City at the middle of the last night had 70-mile-per-hour winds and whiteout conditions. All right, let's go back here. We got another warning coming out. Ooh, tornado warning. That's what I was waiting to see. I should have switched over to this radar. So let me switch over here. Got a new tornado warning here. Let's go check this one out. There it is right there. You're looking for the little kinks in the line. This is radar indicated. This is for Forsyth County in central North Carolina. Severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado was located near Clemens or near Winston-Salem, moving northeast at 35. So definitely in a populated area there. That's very dangerous to see. Now looking at the velocity mode, not seeing a real closed off circulation there. So broad circulation. Let's look at some of the winds in here. Let's see what the winds are doing. Doesn't look, okay, getting a new track there. Here we go. 73, 73, 76, 76. Yeah, so we got some very strong winds in there. There's an 80. So we got some pretty strong winds just off the surface there. That's about a half degree elevation on that. So some very big time winds blowing into Winston-Salem right there. And just kind of switched over just kind of moving in there. So that is really an intense line going through there. Check that out. Hey, if you're new to the channel and you haven't subscribed, I would appreciate you giving me a big subscribe there. I'd appreciate that. Every little bit helps, especially when you're going up against the behemoths that are out there that have millions and millions of subscribers. It is very, very hard. That's why I've gone local. I've got a local Facebook that I do, but I still like to keep up on the national stuff here on the YouTube channel. We're going to be rebranding it from Weather Nerds over to First Alert Weather. That's going to be my new thing. I might have to change the First Alert to something else because I'm sure someone's stolen it out there. It's kind of a generic one, but it'll either be Georgia First Alert Weather, you know, because I'm based out of Georgia, but yeah, I want to rebrand this a little bit. Haven't had the success that I was hoping to get with the channel, but we're going to do the best we can. So we got 8 severe thunderstorm warnings out there, 1 tornado warning right now. I guess the big thing that drives me nuts out there is the fact that you got all these weather entrepreneurs who hype everything to death. It's like the doom and gloom end of the world type stuff, and I'm like, come on, you guys, balance it out a little bit. there's a TikToker out there. That guy is just completely off his rock, but he's making lots of money. So God bless him, right? It's the American dream. Anyway, yeah, Greensboro's looks like this should pass to the north of the Greensboro area here. I'm kind of getting a couple of the intents here. Got Walkertown, Kernerville. I got to watch out for these ones out here. Stokesdale, Summersdale, Oak Ridge. They're out ahead of this. Oh, did I pop out my popper? I don't think I did. Let me do that. No, I did. Make sure. Just making sure my test message. Make sure this is working. I didn't test this before I came on air, so let me test this real quick. Nope, I don't think it's working. Oh well, I was hoping my pop-up was working here, but I don't think it is. Normally I can pull up questions and stuff, but I don't think I am connected. Let's see. Hello. Oh, there it goes. Oh, it's down at the bottom. There it goes. Yeah, there it is. So if you're watching right now and you want to put a question or you have something, or tell me where you're watching from, I can pull up your message there. That's me saying hello. Hello. But yeah, you can put that up there. So anyway, let's go back here to the radar. I'm going to pull out here just a little bit. So we got to watch this one here. It doesn't look that bad. Let me go back to velocity again here. I mean, it is what you sometimes get with these squall lines. You get these little kinks, and when you get these little kinks, that's where you can sometimes get your little spin ups here. Fairly weak, you know, EF0, EF1 type events. That could possibly be a problem there. That's too far away. Let's try this radar over here. There we go. Let's see what this one looks like. And you can't see it very well in there from that distance, so it's probably overshooting it, but somewhere right in there. Looks like we got something right in there. Let's go back, get a close sweep there. Yeah, I still think that's probably a straight line wind on that one. But it's got a little rotation, so they're just being on the cautious side, and they're going to go ahead and put a warning out on that one. Let's go back here to Charlotte. Let's look at the live camera here, but they're looking pretty good. There we go. Now we're getting a deluge. Knew that thing was coming real soon. Getting some of that blowing horizontal rain there a little bit. Now, I tell you, the good news for the Carolinas with this whole rain coming on through is there, for the last several days, they've had numerous wildfires across the Carolinas. So to get this, to get the rain coming through here is a big, big help. It's not going to be a tremendous amount of rain just because it's moving at a pretty good clip, but it definitely is something that will be very helpful here for this. And make sure before you guys move off, because I know people like to scan on YouTube, just do the whole, if you haven't subscribed, do the subscribe, thumbs up, and a comment. That always helps the YouTube algorithm out a little bit. So when you leave, somebody else can come into the broadcast. So that's what happens when you're tiny. That's a really intense little line. Look how thin that line is. This is really thin. I mean, it's very sharp. It's going to be hit and run, quick howling winds, brief heavy rains, lasts about 2-3 minutes, and then it's gone. These things looking a lot better down here in South Georgia, that's for sure. So I'm going to stay focused up in the north part of this line, as this appears to be where the most intense storm activity is taking place right now. Let me see, we'll look at this one more time here. Again, got that tornado watch that's up there through the Carolinas. As that line moves further east, they'll be pivoting. Hey, Kova. Yeah, I decided to hop on here this morning. Good to see you. Yeah, it was pretty good broadcast yesterday. Had 53, gave away my radios, gave away my one radio and my one subscription. I love that. That's a neat program. It's so cool. I had like 54 people that were registered for the radio and the service, weather call service, and it closes out. I said, okay, pick 2 winners. Boom, there it is. I don't have to think about it. I don't have to look about it. It is fair, impartial, pretty cool. I really like that. Let's go back to local radar here. Now I got to get the weather service, I mean, the internet service I'm using to undo it, so I can go back and use their AI program to help create the website, so I can do it the right way. I don't know how much it can really build in from a weather perspective. I'll look into it. I got to decide how I want to build it. Maybe watch warning type stuff. We'll figure it out. See how downtown, make it, yeah. See, looking a lot better down in downtown Charlotte now. Got a new severe thunderstorm warning up here to the north. Let's check this one out. Let me switch on back to the radar. So this one is for western Stokes County, northwestern Henry County, and Patrick County. And these are in Virginia. So Stokes is in North Carolina, and we got these in Virginia. That's Henry County, Patrick County, and southwestern Franklin County goes till 9 a.m. Severe thunderstorm are located along a line extending from near Laurel Fork, near Westfield, and to near Pinnacle, moving northeast at 50. So these things are moving at a pretty good clip. Definitely moving right along with these heavy thunderstorms coming in here. So we do have that tornado watch. I didn't get the time on that. Let me double check the time. I'll make sure I'm right. I don't want to be telling you guys erroneous information. I mean, I know they're clipping away the tornado watch box, but I did not get the time on that real quick. So let me look at that real quick. I want to make sure I'm right. And that's our. Hold on a second. Where's my watch at? Oh, there it goes. Get my watch up. That goes till 1 o'clock Eastern. I thought it was 12. Just wanted to make sure. So 1 o'clock Eastern Standard Time on the watch box there. So we're talking about that yellow area right here. So this is our watch box. As that continues to move east, these counties will be trimmed away very slowly as that moves on off. But I've kind of got the wider look on this, and I did this deliberately just to kind of show you, again, you got the severe element of this, and you got the winter part of this with the blizzard warnings. You know, when I did a video update on this on last Saturday, I was saying blizzard and severe weather, and man, of all people, I'm the last person to sit there and say I'm hyping something to death. And, you know, I like to keep a straight arrow here on this. Somebody said, "Oh, you're just hyping it up." I was like, "No, I'm not. This is what I'm seeing." I mean, the European was pretty consistent, and this thing was really going to bottom out. The wind field of this thing was pretty large. I knew we were going to get a winter part of this and a severe part of this, and that's what we're getting right there. It started yesterday, and it continues today. Now, the good news is I'm interested to see what the 12Z does later today, but did not see anything real bad coming at us here anytime as far as the short term is concerned for the next week. Looks pretty much on the quiet side. Let me put this back to continental United States. I'm looking at the overnight European here because I've been looking at the short range stuff with the severe weather. So right now, once this pulls on through, oops, push to 0Z. It was a long one here. Don't see. Once that's through, I don't see any other severe weather potential. Maybe the 15th. There's a system there on the 15th, 979, yeah. Looks like the next potential round, the 14th, 15th, that's the next potential round for some active weather with that one. That's also spinning up a pretty good low, almost similar to this one, but around the 15th, and then it'll cool down behind that one. So, and then there's one behind, then there's one on the 20th behind that. So we got a couple of potential severe weather rounds here. One on the 15th, 14th, 15th, and again on the long range. So I just wanted to throw that out there for you guys. Hey, if you're watching now, put a comment down below. Let me know. I know we got Kova watching this morning. If you've got someplace, if you're a normal viewer, just kind of say hello. Nice to say hello to you. And if you are new, go ahead and hit that subscribe button if you can. Wouldn't mind adding you to our family. We're currently sitting at, what is our little counter up here today? We are currently at 5,837. All right, so maybe we'll get to 5,900 before the end of the year. It goes pretty slowly. Most of my growth here lately has been coming from people driving from my Facebook here in North Georgia and driving them up to the YouTube page. That's where I've been getting my new followers from, because I think YouTube's banned me or something. Probably because I badmouth them too much. The algorithm says, "You can't talk bad about us. How dare you?" Well, I'm sorry. I really think they've monopolized. They basically will. They keep trying to squeeze out the little guys, and I'm the little guy. I still kick myself in the head that I really should have started. I wanted to start. I had the idea to start this stuff back in 2018, which would have been ahead of the Godfather, the weather entrepreneur himself, Ryan Hall. If I had done that, I'd be a lot better off right now. That's for sure. Da, 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 da. All right, let's go back to this tornado warning here. I want to double check to see if there's been anything new here. Yeah, still, but look at that thing bulge through here. Now this is this is textbook here. You get a squall line, you get a bulge like this, and what happens, you're getting a punch, some very strong air racing out ahead of this. So we're getting some very strong winds here going through the Winston-Salem area. So there's probably going to be numerous power outages, I'm sure, with this thing going through Winston-Salem right now. There's no way around that. Let me get a little bigger up there. So yeah, right through there, getting some very, very large winds in here. Got a new scan coming through. Just moving a little bit. Let's see what these winds are doing in here along the boundary. Yeah, 80, 80, 70, 80, 78. Now, just because this is a little bit off the ground with the radars and stuff, probably 60, 65 mile per hour winds, I'd say we're seeing right through there. 65 mile per hour winds. That's definitely going to cause some power outages, no doubt about that. Let me see what the power outage is doing here in North Carolina, just for kicks and giggles. Let's check this out. Let us check this out, my friend. State outages. Let's take a look here. So 23,000 North Carolina. That's not too bad. And down there in South Carolina, we're at 3,000. All right, got a new warning. All right, enough of that. Enough of that crap. Let's go back to this new warning here. Turn that off. Got a new tornado warning here. New tornado warning. Let's switch radars. Go back over to this one. So this is radar indicated. This is for northeastern Union County. Goes until 9 o'clock. Severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado was located 4 miles northwest of Monroe or 4 miles southeast of Lake Park, moving northeast at 55 miles per hour. So that is hauling. This whole line is hauling pretty good here this morning. That's for sure. Yeah, there's a little bit of, looks like even on the reflectivity, looks like a little bit of rotation in there. Let's look at the velocity on this one. I can't see it. I got to change radars. I hate that. Let's see. What's the closest one? Try this one. Nope. It is in between the radar beams. That kind of sucks. How about Columbia? Can we see that from down there? Yeah, a little bit. That's a little bit better. Not really closed off very well. But right in there. I see we've got a couple of chasers in that area. So let's look what the winds are doing up in this area. 68, 60. Not as high as the ones to the north. Drops off here, so 65, 60, 65. So any of these things that that fires up a potential tornado, I think they're going to be on the weak side. We're talking EF1 to EF0 up and down this line. Got a new warning, another tornado warning here up to the north. All right, getting a little hot and heavy here. Just picked up here in the last few minutes. Again, if you're new to the channel, please subscribe. And if you can, please leave me a like if you can. And leave me a comment. Let me know where you're from. Does help with the algorithm a little bit here. Northwestern Henry County and eastern Patrick County. This goes until 8:45. Thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado was located near Stewart, moving northeast at 60. These things are hauling butt. Hey, Leighton, good to see you there. Good morning, Leighton. Leighton Vernell, good to see you there. Let's go ahead and check out the velocity on this one. And once again, that's for that radar. That's pretty close. Again, just a little kink in the line. And again, they do that because sometimes you get those little eddies that can spin up weak tornadoes. Again, the winds in here, 73, 76, 76, 78. Here's an 80. So again, 65, 80, when you're extrapolating it down to the surface. Again, we got a screaming jet stream in here. Across Alabama yesterday, to show you how high it was with some of the winds that were coming through, when that trough was really kind of maxing out, I was catching some wind off the surface of 110 to 115 miles per hour. Just unbelievable. Now, these are still pretty high, but not quite as high as I was seeing back over in Alabama. So we got 3 active tornado warnings. Here they are along that line. You got 1. Here's number 2. Here's number 3. The one of the most concerning is the one here in the middle. This one is going through a very populated area, obviously with Winston-Salem being in there. And you can see it looks like the worst of it's gone through Winston-Salem. So it's right along this boundary right here. So it's Kernsville in the crosshairs right now with some of these winds. And we're going a little bit closer. A lot of population in there. It's a heavy populated area. 85, 85, 87, 85. So it looks like the villas at Mountain Creek, Mountain West, Julian Pond. Again, kind of looking in this area. Copperfield, Victorian Square, everything that's in this area, probably getting some very strong winds I think we're probably going to see a spike in probably the power outages here across portions of the Carolinas, especially with winds looking like this. Definitely going to continue to see that. Let's go back down to the Columbia radar here, checking the southern part of this line. I've explained this on previous broadcasts that not all Weather Service radars are the same. Some are newer, up to date than other ones, so some give a crisper image than others. All right, I'm going to stay on the Virginia radar for these two up here. Now, one thing with these storms, because they're dynamically driven, we're talking about the high winds with these. You're definitely not going to be looking at any kind of real hail with this. So when I look for hail, look at LaVille, it's showing up a little bit there, Winston-Salem. That might be, maybe some pea size if that's in there. But hail is not going to be a big factor with this thing. It's strictly going to be the strong, gusty, damaging winds, as well as the potential for those isolated EF0, EF1 type tornadoes that spin up along the boundary. And of course, if one of those things hits your home, can do some roof damage, that's for sure. Put your trash can down the yard. Hopefully these folks in Virginia and in the Carolinas have gone ahead and secured their outdoor property for sure as this stuff's moving on through. Because they remain under that enhanced risk. So this will get updated. They'll be trimming that away as this thing moves slowly off toward the east here. As you got that severe thunderstorm watch down there across southeast Georgia, and those don't look that bad. It's really the Carolinas that seem to be the prime zone here. Moving into the western portion of the states. Just cleared the areas there in Charlotte. As we're kind of watching the big pinwheel. That's what this is, a big giant pinwheel right there with that big low right there. And kind of spoken off some of this energy here, going like that. Big wheel. Now let me pull up let's look at the high resolution model on this stuff. So let's see, I think I got the 12Z completely here. Yeah, pretty much. Let's go look at this. So this is how this is going to proceed here for the rest of this morning. So as we go to 10 o'clock, you see it kind of racing off there toward the east into the early afternoon hours. So the areas there and eastern, I said western earlier, I'm sorry, eastern North Carolina. Obviously, we're talking heading from Myrtle Beach, heading up the coast there, and getting into Virginia, Richmond, and sweeping on out to the Delmarva Peninsula. That'll sweep on out. And then we got to watch the backside of this. This is pretty interesting. We got to get a little bit of, going into tonight, might see a little bit of snow here across portions of Tennessee, even getting into the North Georgia mountains here going into tonight up there. So I have to watch that closely. My neck of the woods. Maybe I'll go drive up there tonight and see if we get any snow. I'm in northeast Georgia there in a town called Brazelton. This moves on out and just plain old cold. So there we go. So we got a few more hours here. And the thing is, we're in the max daytime heating, so these storms can get a little more invigorated with some additional heat. This thing was not really driven by instability. This time of year is always problematic. Because you don't have a lot of latent heat, very big warmth. Temperatures are not well into the 70s or even into the 80s to help feed these things. So, go back here. And there's so we're through the Winston-Salem area. That is fine. There's that boundary. So we're going to the Kernsville, Oakwood, Summerfield, Stocksdale. I see them probably putting at least another severe thunderstorm warning out ahead of this thing, based off the winds that we're seeing. Hey, they did one to the north, so I'm close. I'm in the neighborhood. I got a new warning here. This is a big one. This is for eastern Stokes County, Rockingham County, northwestern Caswell, the west central city of Danville, southwestern Pennsylvania, the city of Martinsville, Henry County, and southeastern Patrick County. Goes till 9:45. So that's a very big box there on that one. And here's the other one. We got another one flash up down here to the south. So let's do this one as well. This one is also a big large. Goes for 50 minutes. This is for southeastern Davidson, Anson County, Montgomery County, western Richmond, southwestern Randolph and Stanley County, goes until 9:30. This storm's moving northeast at 70 miles per hour. Hello. A 60-mile-per-hour wind gust with that. That thing is hauling. That is the southern part of this line. Moving very, very fast. Kind of bouncing between the radars to see which one shows me the best picture. Hey, before you guys head on out, if you're kind of passing through, please consider hitting the subscribe button. Please leave a comment down below. Let me know where you're watching from. And there's the one I was just calling for. And let me know where you're from. Let me know where you're watching. And we've got Hunter Jenkins checking in from Dunn, North Carolina. Hey, Hunter, good to see you. Welcome on board there. And you guys getting pounded up there in North Carolina this morning. There's High Point. So let's look at this warning here. This is for southeastern Forsyth County, eastern Davidson County, northwestern Randolph County, and Guilford County. Goes until 9:45. Severe thunderstorm was located along a line extending from near Pine Hall to near Kernsville and moving northeast at 45 miles per hour. So that is really hauling button here. Where exactly is Dunn, North Carolina? Let me look that up. I want to see where you are in relation to where these storms are. I don't know I know my major cities up there, but I'm not familiar with that one. So let me take a look here. Dunn, North Carolina. There you are. And so you are, okay, so you're off to the east. You're out there, so it still has to come your way just yet. I see why you're watching. Yeah, watch these bad boys. Remember, you got that tornado watch up for your area there. That tornado watch is up until 1 o'clock. So you got that line coming right at you. So make sure you batten down the hatches there, Hunter. Thank you for watching. Go back here to local radar here. And again, like I say, I see we're getting a little spike in the viewership. You guys just make sure before you leave, because the average turnaround on viewer time is usually about 5 minutes. So to help the YouTube algorithm, I ask folks to leave a comment and consider subscribing to the channel. It'll be an honor to have you on board. And leave me a thumbs up. It does help with the algorithm. That's a little game you got to play when you're a small channel. Thank you. I'm waiting in here. Wind is already picking up. Yeah, I tell you, Hunter, before we even had these storms blow through Georgia area where I'm at, it was pretty windy in advance of the system. So what's going to happen, the big threat is the wind damage. Okay, there's tornado threats there, as we're seeing with these multiple, we got 3 tornado warnings out there, so you can get these spin-ups. It's along the boundary where this most intense part of this line is setting up, right in here. As this passes, this is where you're going to see the heaviest winds. They're going to come right down. What's happening is you've got some very strong jet energy, roughly at about 2,000 feet. So you get a good downpour with some, again, where the wind shear is the heaviest, it can help bring it down to the surface. And sometimes along a boundary, you can get these weak little eddy spin-ups, EF0 to EF1. You know, we're talking 60 up to 80 mile per hour type of weak tornadoes that can spin up with these storms. So, yeah, it hasn't got over toward the Fayetteville area, but these cities right in here will be under the gun a little bit later here this morning as this continues to move off toward the east. Let's go check out looks like the southern part of this line is really kind of weakened off, which is really good. So we can just kind of focus here on the Carolinas here with the storms. Let me switch back over to this radar here as we're kind of tracking through the heart of North Carolina. One of my buddies, Brad, who's a big meteorologist in the North Carolina area, very well known. I'm getting into his terrain, but that's okay. I'm sure he wouldn't mind me doing a little bit of weather coverage of my own. I'm gonna be honest with you, I did not want to do a weather video this morning. I wasn't in the mood. I was like, yeah, let's do some severe weather stuff. So we'll go ahead and do this. That's right. You tell them there, Cove. Everybody stay safe, man. Stay prepared. Absolutely. Share this, man. Share this with your friends. Yeah, I don't even know if the Godfather, I'm sure the Godfather, I don't know if he's out. I know Max Velocity. That guy's on every day of the week. The Max Velocity guy, he's a kid. He's a young guy. Obviously doesn't have a life. I doubt he's got a girlfriend. Because every time there's a severe weather event, he is on every minute of every day, and it's worked great for him. Applaud him. The guy's gotten well over 100,000 followers. He's probably the second biggest guy out there next to the Godfather, Ryan Hall. You know, both Ryan Hall and Max, they have some weather knowledge. They're not really accredited meteorologists, they're weather enthusiasts, but you know, God bless them. They came up with an idea and they ran with it, and they've done really well. My local Facebook's done pretty well. I've just knocking on 30,000 followers for North Georgia. I've kind of gone local for my Facebook, which has really done well. But I still want to do these national stuff because I think this is fun. I enjoy doing this. I just wish I had better luck on YouTube. Kind of hard. Maybe I'm just too old. I guess my main reason is, you know, like Hunter, you're a guy. You being a guy, I'm assuming I'm right there. The viewership is so backward. YouTube is 70-30 men. Facebook is 70-30 female. It's their exact opposite audiences. And I've got a great female audience on Facebook, but YouTube, not so much. I make a little money on YouTube here, but not a lot. I mean, just enough to pay for a little bit of my advertising. That's about it. So let's go check out the velocity again. I want to go up and down this line here. I'm going to bounce around the radars and see which one's got the best look from the wind field. They're kind of perpendicular to the radar. It's kind of falling in between. So looks like this is going to have the best one over here near the Durham radar. But see, the problem is where the main action is, it's kind of falling in between the beams right there. Let's look at the storm. Yeah, I hate falling in between outlooks. It makes it kind of difficult. But basically, what we're going to see right along this boundary as this is moving on, we're going to see all these warnings. So Durham, Cary, Lynn Oaks, Fayetteville, all these areas are going to see severe thunderstorm warnings as this line progresses off toward the east. What's going to happen is you're going to continue to see probably isolated tornado warnings that are going to come up along that boundary thanks to this spin. And again, it's going to be the damaging winds, which are going to be the big thing here. It'll be interesting to see as this line passes now coming through Winston-Salem and the High Point area to see how if the number of power outages spike. I'll check on that a little bit later to see if that goes up any for sure. So for those kind of just joining in, this is all being driven, believe it or not, by this big area of low pressure that's up here in the Midwest. This thing bottomed out about 981 millibars. They've got blizzard conditions up in here right now. So we're getting that. And imagine this low as one big giant pinwheel. You got these little pieces of energy kind of rotating around it, right? So you got the big low right up in here. And you got these little pinwheels of energy in it. So we're getting the severe weather. There's very strong winds driving in from this direction. At the same time, you got a southerly wind out ahead of it. So we got pretty good wind shear right into that zone being caused by this low pressure system. So this is what's driving these thunderstorms to the Carolinas right now. So again, before you guys head on out and do the greener pastures, we're up to 8 likes. So please, before you guys leave, give me a like before you get on out of there. Do a share if you can do that for me as well. And also consider subscribing to the channel. It'll be an honor and a privilege to have you on board. And I don't know if my alert thing's even working. My Streamlabs thing's been acting a little flaky. So I don't know normally what it does if you subscribe to the channel, it'll do a little alert thing. It does a little wave thing up in the action. It says, hello, welcome on board. But I haven't heard that thing go off in a while. I might need to go in there and double check that thing in the future. Oh, that's some pretty good. Well, I tell you, Greensboro is going to get hit pretty good here very soon. Wish I had a camera up in that area. So still got this one tornado warning down here to the south. Let me switch this back to Columbia radar. This one goes for another 11 minutes. Doesn't look that impressive on the radar. Yeah, let's check this. Let's go back in here and check this out here. Yeah, just a very intense line. It's again not closed out. I'm not seeing the red and green. Not seeing the closed off low there. Tornado there. So just some very high gusty winds. What if I could do a 3D scan? Let's do a 3D volume scan. These are also probably fairly low top, which means they're not very high. So let me do a 3D scan here. If this is working, I forgot to reset this thing. It was not working last night, and I didn't reset this thing. So no soup for me. No, I didn't reset it. I mean, I can do that real quick. Let's close this off. I'll tell you what I'll do. Let me go to the regional radar. I'm gonna put this up for a second. I'm gonna reset my app. So sometimes it needs a little kick. So let me see if that works. Well, stand by here for a second. Let me see if I can get this thing working for you. As soon as I turn off all my crap, good Lord. All right, let's get this thing reopened up. There we go. All right, let's see if we can do a scan now. So we'll go back to local radar here. There we go. So I'm doing a 3D scan to see if that's actually working, and it's not. All right, well, it's just wanted to see if it was working. I wanted to see if it was the app or not, and it's not. So what I was scanning was to see what the heights on these storms are. I'm guessing about 30,000 feet, probably no higher than that. This time of year, thunderstorms don't typically go up that much because you don't have the instability, the buoyancy of the air to kind of really push those columns up very high. So they tend to be fairly low. But as we get progressively into the spring and warmer months, the thunderstorm tops will go up 40, 45, 50,000. They go up. And the higher it goes up, the greater the hail risk. That's why hail risk typically in the wintertime, and this is still technically winter, even though it's meteorological spring, they typically don't do that. I see we got some new people coming on board here. I just want to introduce myself. My name is Greg Majeski. Welcome to the Weather Nerds channel. Soon to be rebranded the Georgia First Alert Weather Center. So this will continue to be our main national page here for us. That just went bye-bye. Did I click on it? Oh, I did. That was my fault. So again, if you'd like to get weather coverage that is going to be steady, not hyped to death, and just kind of give you the facts without using you as clickbait, I'd like to introduce you to come on board here. I know it's a little bit of a stretch, especially in this YouTube environment, to even be successful to do something like that. But I got my morals, man. I got to do it that way. I've been a TV meteorologist, done it for a lot of years, and I just don't like some of the stuff I see going on social media. So I just want to try to give it to you guys steady. Hey, G Bro, good to see you there. Welcome aboard. Good to see you there this morning. Again, if you're watching from somewhere, go down to the comments section. I'd love to like to say hello to you. Let me know where you're watching from. Like Kova and G Bro and Hunter Jenkins, who's watching from North Carolina, and Leighton, who's watching earlier. Some of our normals here. So I'm waiting for some new warnings to be issued here. This stuff's, they're moving at they're kind of running, it's kind of interesting. You can kind of see the wind shear a little bit. Look at this stuff here out ahead of it, kind of running this way. All right, while the line is pushing and going this way. So that's why we got a lot of what's called wind shear in there. So as wind shear is winds that are changing with height as they go up. That's why the tornado risk is there. So we got the tornado risk because of the fact that we've got the southerly wind out ahead of it, and we got a west wind behind it. So like if I pull up the wind direction, I guarantee you're going to see, so the winds are coming in out of the south. See the winds there coming in out of the south? See them kind of pointing in that direction. But the upper level directions are coming like this. So you clearly see the wind shear very, very nicely there with that. Turn that back off again. And temperatures are fairly mild. They're in the 60s. So again, like I said, not driven by instability. If it was a lot of heat and stuff in there, temperatures would be like upper 70s or low 80s, something like that. That would be driving that. Hey, of course, G-Bro's watching from South Bend, Indiana. Good to see you there, brother. Yeah, Indiana, I'm sure you guys are going to be very, very breezy up that way. That's for sure. Again, you kind of got this thing going back this way. And up toward Indiana, y'all just looking at rain right there, but the low is real close to you. Kind of wrapping through there. 980 millibars. Wow. 980 millibars. That is a very low pressure system. Give you an idea, 979 millibars is Category 2 hurricane. So this thing right here is showing, this low pressure is showing 980 right near Chicago. That is almost equivalent to a Category 2 hurricane. That's why we got these blizzard conditions in here. That is really amazing to see a low pressure system. I mean, you would typically get those like nor'easters on the coast, but to see a big one like that inland, you don't see it very often. That's for sure. So let me reset my radar over here again because I messed it up. That's my fault. Go back to the radar here. We'll go back over to North Carolina. We'll watch the severe weather over here. Let's get back over here. That's what's driving it. That big area of low pressure really been driving the conditions there for today. So I'm gonna stay on here for a little while. I want to see if I can get 250 views on here, which is about what I had yesterday's light coverage. So I can try to get to 250. That'll be a good little, dollar, I guess, on YouTube, since I'm not going to post something today. What is this here? Somebody posted this earlier. This is from yesterday. Dalrose tracking strong thunderstorm with strong line extending from near Blair to near Fulton. This was in Mississippi. That has to be a typo. That somebody was typing the fact that there was these thunderstorms in Mississippi yesterday afternoon that were moving to the northeast at 120 miles per hour. I can honestly say I've never seen that. That's got to be a typo. Yeah, it has to be an error. There's no way. I mean, I can see 60, 70 miles per hour, but a thunderstorm moving 120 miles an hour? Oh, I don't think so. That'd have to be some sort of record. Let me turn this ob off here real quick. Don't want to make it too cluttered for you guys. If you got a question or anything, please post it down in the comment section. And again, before you guys head on out and leave, please give me a thumbs up if you can. Consider subscribing to the channel. That always helps with the algorithm. And as well, leave me a comment, thumbs up, subscriber. That's how we got to play the YouTube algorithm game. That's what we call it here, the YouTube algorithm game. Yeah, I thought I heard the alert go off there. Welcome that new subscriber. I appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you for subscribing. It's always good to add a little bit to the number. We're at 5838. 5838 on the subscriber base here. If I had about 25,000 subscribers, I think I'd be happy with that. I'd be all right with that. I just hate the fact that I hit 5,000 back in October, and it's now February. It's taking me 6 months just to get 800 subscribers. Like I said, the algorithm changed. It really got very, very bad. I think I got a decent product. Maybe I'm too egotistical. Maybe I think too highly of myself. Anyway, let's go back in here to Greensboro. Let's take a look at this here. Again, they're going to have some very gusty winds going through here. I wish we had some storm chasers out there, but it looks like there's none out in the area. So let me go back over to velocity. I'm going to look at some of these winds here coming into, again, not showing up very well in the velocity mode to see those winds. Let's go to storm relative velocity. Let's check this out. And looks like along that line, 36, 37, 40 miles per hour winds. That's not bad. I think they're higher than that. But again, just different radar. Because they wouldn't have a warning out. They were just 30, 40 mile per hour winds. The winds to Salem's definitely looking better. So we're going to have some new warnings that are going to come out here for Burlington, Yanceyville. We're going to have that whole area out in front of that line will have some new warnings here in just a second. So I'm going to watch that closely. I'm going to keep track of my other business phone here. So again, let me know where you follow. We got Kova watching. We got G-Bro, who's watching from South Bend. We had Hunter Jenkins from North Carolina watching. So let me know where you're watching from. Put it up in the comments. Like to say hello to you. Like they're like Leighton. I can pull this up and say like that and say, hey, good morning. Go ahead and put a comment down there if you'd like. Got a new scan coming from the radar here. So let's let the beam do its action there. And I do ask everybody, because the average turnover here on YouTube is about 4.5 minutes. So if you come and go, you scan and go, please give me a thumbs up. Please consider subscribing. It'd be a pleasure to have you on board as one of our weather sources here. God knows there's enough of us out near YouTube. And then give me a thumbs up. It helps the algorithm out, so when you leave, somebody else can come back in. So that's how the YouTube game works. All right, got a new scan on that. Let me go ahead and put this back into loop mode here. So we've got about 6 different severe thunderstorm warnings. The one tornado warning was down here to the south, but I think it's expired. Yeah, it's gone bye-bye, so that'll drop off. So right now it's predominantly right here along all of North Carolina pretty much, and extreme southern Virginia is under the gun right there with this. This thing's got a history of producing winds about 60 to 70 miles per hour as it's pushed off toward the east here. Let's see if the power outages have changed much here. in the last 30 minutes. I want to check this out. I think the last time I looked, it was 22,000. Now it's showing 20,000. So the power outage is not bad there in North Carolina. But South Carolina's got 2,000. Georgia still 19,000. Alabama 46. Alabama yesterday, they were up to like 120,000 there. Oh, we got a new warning. Let's go check this one out. We got a new warning. Let me turn the power off here. Got a new warning. Let's go check out this one. This one's in Virginia. I'll switch over to the Roanoke radar here. So this one is for southwestern Campbell, northwestern Pennsylvania, southern Bedford, northern Henry County, northeastern Patrick County, and Franklin County. It goes till 9:45. Severe thunderstorm was located a line extending from Furman to Bassett to near Penn Store, moving northeast at 50 miles per hour. So these are fairly large boxes, and they're doing that because the speed at which the storms are moving. They're moving at a pretty good clip. Now, my brother-in-law actually lives up in the Lynchburg area, so hopefully he's going to be doing okay as these storms move through. Coming into the Roanoke area here. So we're talking Rocky Mount, I think that's called Alta Vista, Union Hill, West Lake, Mata. Those are all the areas in that new warning that's just been issued. So that's a pretty intense line. That's a good radar there. I can tell by the quality of the image. Looking pretty good there. So it continues to move off to the east at a pretty good clip. So again, we've still got the tornado watch box there that's being trimmed away very slowly. Does not include areas of Virginia, just down to the Carolina border there, but we are getting some of these spillover here. We're getting a little spillover of the action getting in here into southern Virginia, even though they're technically not in the tornado watch area. There is a tremendous amount of wind shear with this system. And when I say wind shear, it shows up very well here on the radar. And I illustrated this before, and I'm going to do it again. Notice this precipitation that's moving here from the south going this way. But this line is moving in this direction. So we have very strong westerly winds at the higher elevations, but at the surface nearby, we got the southern winds. So you got spin and wind shear. This is all being driven by simple thermodynamics of the system. Very strong dynamics with the upper level energy and the wind shear, because there's just practically no wind instability with this at all, because it's only in the 60s, so not being driven here by that. Now, as we get deeper into the spring, that'll change, obviously, but that's a pretty good healthy line there coming into the ready to come into Greensboro. Wish we had a camera in that area. Might look a little bit. Let's go over to velocity mode here. Check out the velocity in there. Oh, yeah, look at that. Wow. That's got some wind in there, Bubby. That's got some wind in there. Check that out. I'd also watch that right in here. That'd be an area I'd watch for a potential tornado warning right in there. Let's look at the winds in this area. Let's check this out. 65, 67, 67, 67, 67. So basically 60-mile-per-hour winds. Here's a new scan coming in. That's moved off to the east a little bit. 62. Let's weaken just a little bit. 67. So 60-mile-per-hour winds in that line. Turn that off. You can see it sweeping on through. Look at that sharp boundary there. That's a nice crisp image. I love it when I get a good radar. So you got this thing kind of doing a snaking maneuver. When it snakes like there, again, that's why you got to watch out for those spin-up vortices, because they can spin up along the boundary, drop a brief little EF0, EF1 tornado, which could do a little damage to your house, like your roof and stuff, and take some shingles off, blow your trash can down the street. Definitely could be a problem with that. Knock some power out, that's for sure. Knock some trees down. Got to be very careful with this. I've not seen a lot of damage reports. There's some back behind here. I'll show you what this line has done here. We got tree down on, this is over Wilkes County. So again, scattered tree outage. Tree fell on a house in Robinson. It's always a danger when you get a storm system like this. So that will continue here as this continues to move off toward the east at about 50 miles per hour is your average on this right now. So let me know where you guys are from. We got 11 people watching the broadcast right now. Again, good morning. My name is Greg Majeski here on the Weather Nerds channel, soon to be rebranded the Georgia First Alert Weather Center, because I'm based out of Georgia, and we'll continue to do live coverage here. Love to be one of your weather sources here on YouTube. I know everybody likes to watch the internet weatherman guy named Ryan Hall. Sorry. Oh, I got a little clear of my throat. But you know what? It's good to be able to go to a smaller channel because you can ask questions and actually get stuff so I can acknowledge you. When you watch a Ryan Hall broadcast, there's so many people watching. It's like a nonstop stream on his stuff. He can never give you personalized service, even answer your dang gum questions. But at least with a small channel like mine, at least I can do that for you. I got a little text message here. Let me answer this text real quick. Can we share the week of? Yes, let me check. All right. So we're looking pretty good. Again, all up and down this boundary line, I still would watch in there. You see kind of a little interact. Even on the reflectivity, I'd be watching right in there for potential tornado warning. So we watch that very closely. Yeah, these other cities here, that Burlington, Sweepsville, Silver City, all these will get due severe thunderstorm warnings here pretty soon. Yanceyville, Danville, all these areas out ahead of this will continue to see some warnings. It's a very robust winds in here. I've been impressed with what I'm seeing with the winds so far. Let me see if the new model data is coming in here yet. I like to look at the hourlies, the high resolution model data here. 13Z is just coming in now. Let me let that render a little bit more before I show that. I like to show the hourly updates on to kind of get the trend. As this thing's getting later into the daytime, you get a little bit of daytime heating. It's just a little bit. It can cause the storms to perhaps pulse up just a little bit with a little daytime heating, even though the instability is pretty low. It's not very warm, but that could still be a factor a little bit. As you're kind of watching this, let me get this set up back where it needs to be. My bad. Let me do that real quick. This is the bigger picture. We go back away from the blizzard here. Again, kind of watching this storm system come on through. We got two different spokes from that low that are moving on through. So we've got the initial cold front coming on through. That's what's setting that off. And then you got another one back behind this. And it's progressively colder behind each one of these little shots coming around that big area of low pressure, the big pinwheel. That's what I like to call it, moving through there. So as that continues to move off toward the east. See if that's updated anything. Nope, they continue to trim away there. Look at all the wind advice. That's the other factor with this. You see all this brown, and these are all wind advisories. All wind advisories. You got some high wind warnings there across the higher elevations of the North Carolina mountains, predominantly because the high level winds are blowing at roughly about 2,000 feet. So you go up any kind of elevation, especially across the western portions of North Carolina, you're going to get that very high wind gusts up over 55 miles per hour. Not even part of the severe thunderstorms that are moving on through. So before you guys head on out of here, if you could please do me the favor, I haven't checked this in a hot minute, so I will double check it here. We are up to 12 likes now. That's good. 12 likes. Please give a like if you can. If you are not a subscriber, I'd like to give you a personal invitation to consider me as one of your weather sources. Please subscribe on there. I do a regular daily forecast, which I'm getting ready to overhaul, by the way. I think I'm going to make it more uniform to what is out there. I was trying to be a little different, maybe too different for my own good. So I do a weather daily, kind of give you an outlook of what's going on for the next week, and then kind of an extended outlook there. And I try not to be the hype machine, but I do want to be straightforward with you guys when I think the weather's going to be bad. So if you'd like to join that, please hit that subscribe button. Give me the like, and give me a comment. Let me know where you're watching from. I'd be interested to say hello. Right now we're averaging about 5 minutes and 2 seconds per viewer on the channel. So again, just help me out. It's good. The YouTube algorithm, I tell you, it is a beast. You got to play its game or it's going to cut you off. Last April, when I was first kind of new at doing this, I was not doing that and didn't realize what I had to do to keep my viewership. And it would drop off to nothing. I'm like, what am I doing wrong? Why am I not getting anything? It's because you got to get the interaction part of it. That's the way the YouTube algorithm works. All right, let's go back here and look at the velocity mode in here. Yeah, you got to get those likes, got to get those shares. Yeah, that's some very intense lines. So we got a pretty good straw. You see the boundary right through here. So we got some very strong winds coming into Greensboro. Reedsville is going to get hit. Eden's getting hit right now. Martinsville is on the northern portion of that line. Anywhere along that line, on that boundary, you're going to get winds gusting up to 60 miles per hour as it's moving to the east. Now, this is not really diminishing so much. I think it's just it's running perpendicular to the radar beam. And when it does that, it gets it gets a little bit harder to see the wind direction there. And I'll bounce between the different radars to get a different perspective here. This one's still a bit far away for my taste, but boy, Greensboro is going to get nailed here very well. You know, the TV guys in Greensboro have been doing pretty good. Oh yeah, get ready, man. That's there in Indiana. I'm telling. There's two more severe weather rounds I'm watching. There's one on the 15th of the month, and there's another one on the 20th that I'm going to watch. As we get progressively into the month of March and we get a little more warmth, especially across the south, I think we'll see greater opportunities for not only severe weather, but obviously tornadic storms. But that is a very impressive line there. If you're up over in the Durham area, Wake Forest, Raleigh area, y'all need to get ready for this line, man. This line means some pretty serious business. Going to see some sporadic power outages. The big danger, obviously, is any kind of weakened trees that may fall. The good news is North Carolina has been raked with wildfires. They've had numerous wildfires here over the last previous 3 or 4 days going into the weekend. And these rains are very welcome and definitely will hamper and put that down. It's been pretty dry across the east here lately. We finished off the end there pretty low. Hey, we got Jeanette Hawley. Hey, Jeanette. We need the rain for the fires. Yep, I was just mentioning that. You and I were thinking the same there. Yes, absolutely. This is definitely a blessing. It's a blessing that we're getting this. Of course, the not so blessing part of this is any kind of severe weather, because if you have a car, you have a tree fall on your house or on a car or something like that. We've had a few tornado warnings with this morning, but nothing out there right now. But the models are indicating that this line, as it progresses further east, we get a little bit of daytime heating, just a little bit, could cause these things to pulse up a little bit. So we'll have to watch that closely. Again, this is where the watch and warnings are for today. And I'll break down the categories again for that portion of the Carolinas. So again, there is the tornado threat right there. So we're talking right there where that line is moving into, running into about a 5% risk of seeing some tornadoes in there. But the main threat's going to be the winds. That's going to be the main thing today, as we're kind of seeing that. You see the big bullseye, 30% there, showing there with the red. So we're talking about, again, seeing wind gusts here up to about 60, 70 miles per hour as that line moves in. Hey, do we have Jeanette in there? Did Jeanette show up? Oh, you were saying hi to Janet. Oh, I was thinking of, I'm sorry, I was thinking of somebody else there. Hey, Janet. Yes, good to see you all talk to each other. I always like to see that. So again, if you're new to the channel, again, welcome on board. I want to introduce myself. My name is Greg here on the Weather Nerds channel. Soon to be rebranded to you see that first alert down there. It's going to be the Georgia First Alert Weather Center because I'm based out of Georgia, but we're going to do national coverage here on the YouTube channel when we have the bigger events. And sometimes when necessary, if it's impacting my area, I will simulcast on my Facebook page. So again, if you would like to subscribe, please hit that subscribe button. It helps the algorithm out, helps a poor guy like mine with my struggling little channel. And leave a comment and leave me a thumbs up. It really does help with the YouTube algorithm. As I can tell you, I've been doing it because my viewership is going up. As the viewership goes up, that means we're getting better interaction. So we're up to 15 likes here so far today. And do a share too. If you like to do that, invite a friend. Hey, it's like, hey, this guy's pretty decent. He doesn't hype things to death and say you're going to die tomorrow. Because I just won't do that. So anyway, I appreciate you guys checking out the channel. All right, let's go back here to our weather coverage. And oh, by the way, if I sound like I'm repeating those who watch the channel, they know I have to do that repeatedly because it's a 5-minute turnover. I have to repeat myself because people come in, people come out. So anyway, that's the game. All right, let's go back into Greensboro. Let's take a look at some of these winds here. Getting ready to come into the Greensboro area. That's a pretty big city. Going to get hit with some pretty good winds here, but not looking good there from that radar. I'm going to have to change my perspective here, which is always tough when you're falling between radars. So that radar does not like it very well. Let's look from this angle. Yep, there you go. See a little bit better. So anywhere into this little blue area in here is getting winds 50 to 60 miles per hour. So we're just kind of coming into the western ends of Greensboro right now. Ooh, let me get back out of the radar. My bad. Sorry. You're seeing that with the higher winds right into Greensboro coming in there right now. So we switch back over to reflectivity here. Looks like what we call it a vortex. It looks like a little embedded vortex in there. Got to watch that closely. Not tornadic, but sometimes you can spin one up into that area. Sorry, Kova. Yeah, I was talking over without moving my map over. I get a little tunnel vision sometimes. Yeah, I deserve a good laugh. Yeah, we're up to 81 views. Like I said, if I get to 250 on the views today, I'll consider that a success because I didn't post a video today. So we'll stay on here for a little while. So yeah, just do me, before you guys leave out again, make sure you do the thumbs up, subscribe. That's the whole game here. Let me go back up to the northern portion of this line. Looking out toward Rocky Mount. Boy, that's some pretty good winds with that. Just crossing 220. So anywhere up and down this line, see it right through there, Martinsville, that is where your highest winds are going to be, roughly running about 60 miles per hour. Let me see. I want to check on the model data real quick. I'm waiting for this thing to load. That should be good enough. That should be good enough. So it is 9 o'clock. Let's do right here. So let's do here. All right. So let's go ahead and show you the high resolution model data, so you can see what's going on there currently. Let's check and see what we're expecting this thing to do. All right. So this is the 10 o'clock. And you notice as it goes toward 12, notice how the color spectrum is going upward on this. See how it was right there and going to the east a little bit. So what that tells me, obviously seeing there, is that we're anticipating the line to intensify a little bit as it continues to move east. Now, this whole area is under a tornado watch until 1 o'clock Eastern time. So we've got about 4 more hours here. So by 1 o'clock, we're still sitting right here, those squall lines right here. So this watch box will probably be extended to go all the way to the Carolina coast or stay there or extend it outward because it's not going to be through there just yet. So with a high wind shear environment and the fact that we've got those strong upper level winds in there and we're getting a little bit of daytime heating, that line does intensify. You can clearly see that by 3 o'clock. So as I back that up once again, look at the current snapshot here at 10. And look where it's going to be by the time we get toward 3. It really does spike a bit. So we're going to see an uptick in this activity. And I got to give the high resolution model. It did a very good job with the storms as they were moving through Mississippi. It showed the lull, and then the jet energy increased as it was moving through Alabama. We had some very high winds blowing about 115 miles per hour, seen just off the surface. And the storms spiked. And I think we're going to see that again here with these storms here for this afternoon. It's all being driven by that cold front that's moving off toward the east there. So we might see a spike in the activity as that moves off toward the east. Go back to the Radar Omega here. And if you're interested to know what software I'm using for this local radar, it's called Radar Omega. It is a paid service, but it's one of the better. It's definitely, I think, one of the best ones out there. And they're actually based here in Georgia. They're on the north side of town. I'm hoping once I get my Facebook up to about 50,000, I'm hoping I can go talk to those guys and perhaps have them be a sponsor, like what Weather Call Next Gen is up there. They're one of my partners here for severe weather coverage. Weather Call Next Gen is a neat service if you're not very app friendly or you just don't like all the stuff. It's a call service, and if you subscribe to that service, you get a call from me. Calling to say, hey, you get a tornado warning for your area. You get a text message. It shows where you are at in relation to said watch box. It's a great service. It's like for $1.25 a month. That's a pretty good deal. $1.25 a month. You get the peace of mind there. I'll go ahead and put the link there. What the heck? If somebody's interested, I'll put this in here. I'll put this in here if anybody's interested in that service. It's very good. Like I said, you get an alert for your area. It's my voice talking to you, and you get that taken care of you. And that way, you can take it with you too if you're going traveling somewhere. You can say, okay, I'm in Raleigh now. And it'll do it for you in Raleigh. So wherever you're watching, it's a great service. All right, let's go back over here to. I was kind of switching between the radars here. Let me get the southern part of this line is definitely not bad. You get some rain, some thunderstorms here through Columbia, but really not looking that bad. The one thing that's definitely lacking with these storms is I'm not seeing any lightning whatsoever right now. I think that'll change based off what I just showed you with the high resolution model. I think that'll change as it gets further east, getting over toward Durham. I think we might see additional lightning as it looks like they should re-intensify. But right now, this is all being driven by the dynamics of the atmosphere, then the high wind shear environment that's driving these very intense rainstorms. Let's just call it that, because not really thunderstorms, because you got to have thunder for thunderstorms, right? More like a big rainstorm right now. It's like, how can you have a severe thunderstorm warning if there's no thunder? A thing's a 5-year-old would say, right? Absolutely. Kind of watching the northern part of this line here. That's still decent. I don't know if it'll get as far as Lynchburg yet. But we're going to see some new warnings here any minute because this is getting awfully close. So we'll get some new warnings start to pop up here any second out ahead of that line. There's no reason for them not to do that. So what are we up on the like count here? Let me go check a look at that. Let's take a look here. 17. Hey, we're up to 17 likes. Thank you, guys. Keep that going. Keep that like machine going. Yeah, we're averaging 4 minutes and 14 seconds. I wish Facebook would do that. They don't do that. So I wish they would do that for a broadcast to be able to see how your audience is behaving. So before you guys head out after your 4 minutes of watching my coverage, make sure you do the like, do the subscribe, leave a comment. Let me know where you're watching from. We got 11 folks out there watching this morning. So I'd like to know where you guys are coming from. Oops, I'll check over here real quick. I want to see what the SPC is thinking here. I want to check something real quick. Stand by for a second. Just see if they have any, yeah, they do have some discussions. Okay, that's what I was waiting to see. Let me see here. So it looks like they may be looking, I was wondering about Virginia. And I think they may add additional tornado. I think there's going to be a new watch box here pretty soon. At least they're talking about it. So we're talking about this area up in here. So I think there may be a new watch box that may get taken up the rest of Virginia to going beyond 1 o'clock. So looks like we may see an additional warning there. Hey, Willow from Blacksburg, Virginia. Hey, good to see you there, Willow. Thank you for watching. And if you're a new subscriber, thank you and welcome aboard. Let me see where is Blacksburg. I'll make sure I don't know all my geography for all my cities. I know the major ones, but I want to see where you're at. It's a pretty town, by the way. That's up in the mountains, aren't you? Up on the mountains. Yeah, you're over near the Roanoke area. All right, I see where you're at. Just to the west of there. All right, so you guys are dealing with the real gusty winds coming in behind that system for sure. You already saw all this rough weather. Yeah, I'm just still waiting. I'm just sitting here and waiting because I know the Weather Service is going to have some new warnings here. Tell you what, let me go get me a new drink real quick. If y'all stand by for a second, and I'll be right back. I'm gonna mute my microphone real quick. I'm gonna hit the bathroom and get a new soda. Stand by. Okay, I'm back. Thank you very much. Hey, we just hit 100 views this morning. I'm doing better than we did last night. I did 5 hours of coverage last night, and I think the most we ever got on the viewership last night was about 250 for 5 hours of coverage, and we've been doing this now for an hour and 15 minutes, and we already got 103, so that's not bad. So again, I want to introduce myself. We got a little spike here in new viewership. We're tracking the severe weather today. Right now through portions of Virginia and North Carolina, getting hit pretty good. We got some strong winds. It's got a history of producing winds up to 60 miles per hour. We've had a few isolated tornado warnings here this morning, but none out there for the moment. But looking at what we've seen here with the high resolution model data, is I'm expecting these storms to re-intensify as they continue to move off toward the east. So we're expecting some additional potential watches up into Virginia right now. It's not been issued yet officially. Right now, all the tornado watches are down into the Carolinas right now. But I think we're going to see a new watch box that's going to go in here, probably taking into southern Virginia and taking you all the way to the coastline. So somewhere right in there, we'll see a new watch box issued here pretty soon. So the main threat's going to continue to be the gusty winds. That's going to be the big thing here. As you can look at the different parameters, again, we're under an enhanced area for severe weather here for today. And the high risk here is going to be the wind threat. That's running about 30% right there. You see that there in the red, and the tornado risk is running about 5%. So I do expect to see a new tornado watch box here issued pretty soon. That'll probably take us into the early afternoon hours. All right, so this is all being driven by a pretty good, strong, powerful cold front, a big low pressure system out into the over Chicago, which bottomed out at 980 millibars. That is almost a Category 2 hurricane. Big wind field with this thing. And as a result, we've got all of those wind advisories. All that brown, those are all wind advisories all over the place, from the Midwest all the way to the deep south. It's unbelievably windy around this system as we're looking at this big cartwheel low pressure system, which is right here over Chicagoland, basically right there. And you got these little spokes of energy that's kind of rotating around that thing. So that's what's setting off our severe weather. And we're expecting that to continue here for the rest of this morning and into this afternoon as we get some additional daytime heating. So if you're kind of new coming through the channel, again, please give me a like if you could before you leave. That helps the algorithm a little bit so somebody can come behind you. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, please consider it. It'd be an honor and privilege to be one of your sources out there. And if you'd like to get somebody who will give it to you straight without a bunch of hyping over the top stuff, I'm your guy. I'm your guy. Definitely want to come on board there. So let's go ahead and take a look here. I'm just watching my algorithm here, see how we're doing here. Oh, we did. Oh, cool. Thank you very much. See, my alert's not working. I'm going to have to fix. I have a service called Streamlabs, and I might be disconnected right now, so I won't worry about the live broadcast and mess with it because it's too big. But we got 3 new subscribers here on the channel. So again, welcome. Hey, thank you. Thank you very much. It's nice to see the thing grow a little bit. I'm not one of the big boys out there. It gets a lot of love and attention from YouTube. So the fact that we can add a few new folks to the channel is a great thing. Thank you very much. All right, so let's go ahead. So what we're going to see here over the next few hours is, as we get to, things begin to warm. Well, let's take a look at those temperatures. Haven't looked at that in a hot minute, so let's look at that. Oops, sorry, wrong thing. Let's get the right one. There we go. So temperatures out there. So temperatures out there are sitting mostly in the lower 60s. So they're going to warm up a little bit right now. So as we get a little bit of daytime heating, as this line moves this way, just a little bit of change in temperature can add a little bit of a robustness to the storm. Even though it's not, quote unquote, an environment where we have a lot of instability. When we talk about instability, we're talking about fuel, okay? And severe weather lingo, we call it CAPE. We don't have that here. It's all being driven by very strong wind shear and dynamics. So wind energy is driving this. Hey, we got our new warnings. I was waiting for these to come going. I knew we were getting close. Let's go check this out. I need to do this to another radar. So let's go look at this southern part of this. Let's go to this one right here. So we got a new severe thunderstorm warning. We're getting out ahead of this. Includes the Asheboro area. This is for northwestern Moore County, Montgomery County, Randolph County, and southeastern Stanley County. Goes till 10:30. Severe thunderstorm was located along a line extending from 13 miles west of Asheboro to 8 miles north of Anson, moving northeast at 75 miles an hour. Okay, the individual cells are moving that. That right there, my friends, tells you exactly all you need to know as far as what's driving this train. I mean, when you see motion of 75 miles per hour. So this stuff's moving this way at about 75 miles per hour. Now, it's moving easterly at a slower rate. Okay, but the whole line's moving that way because we've got some very strong winds at the surface kind of blowing over the top of this thing. So again, at the higher elevations, you're getting a push this way, but the lower elevations, you're getting it from the south or southeast. So definitely seeing the very high wind shear environment there. And you can see it so well because you look at this rain stuff that's out ahead of it just racing in this direction while the line itself is moving off from west to east. So a very, very high wind shear environment. So this is going to be getting into the major city of Raleigh. This is Raleigh, North Carolina here. Let me freeze that. How many miles are we away from there? So, because it looks like we're about, oh, I'm sorry, get the right thing. Get the right tool, dummy. So we're still about some 70 miles away. I'd say we're probably a good hour and a half, maybe 2 hours yet still from getting into Raleigh. And if the forecast models are to be believed as we go into the noon hour, as the storms approach the Raleigh area, it should be going up in intensity. It should be going up in intensity as it does so. Thanks, G bro. Sorry you got to go. Talk to you, brother. Yeah. Cove is one of our main backers. She says it. Like and subscribe to the little channel that could. Definitely the little channel that could. Oh, my little dog's coming over here. What you doing, Oliver? What you doing? It's not even time yet. Let me show you to the folks. Come here. Come here. Let's show everybody the doggy. There's the doggy. This here is Oliver. He is a Jack Russell, as you can tell. He's about 13 years old. He's an old boy, and he's not time yet. Normally about 10:30 every day, I take him to go ride in the car because he loves the car ride, and get a little bit of cheese. So this is our little old doggy. So good guy to have. All right, you can go lay down, puppy. Kind of introduced everybody. Again, before you guys leave on out of here, please do the thumbs up, do the subscribe thing. It does help with the algorithm here a little bit. All right, let's go back here. Got a new warning as we're waiting for these new warnings to come on out. That's a big one too. That is a very large box. So this one, they did a possible tornado because there's some spin. That was the part of the line I was watching that looked like it had some spin there. This is eastern Rockingham County, Caswell County, the city of Danville in Virginia, Charlotte County, Virginia, southeast Campbell County, southern Pennsylvania, and Halifax County. It goes until 10:30. These storms were moving west over hills and near Danville, moving northeast at 50. Wind gusts 60 miles per hour. So, seeing some more storm reports coming in behind here. See a few more of these have popped up here. Large tree was reported blown down on Pine Street. Large tree reported down in Old Westfield Road. Large tree reported down on Hattieville Road. So again, you get the gist here. That these storms mean business. Great for the wildfires. Great, we're putting those things out. But with the rains, the damage it's doing here with the wind damage is not good. Obviously, especially if it falls on somebody's house. Let me turn this off real quick. So next area we're going to see some watches or warnings are going to be right in this area, obviously, as we're getting closer and closer to the Raleigh-Durham area. Let me send this text message real quick. Let's see. Y'all need to do a higher here. Let me send this real quick. I gotta send this. Somebody text message me. I gotta send this text out real quick. Stand by real quick. Gotta send this out. All right, sent that. Good to go. All right. Willow, love them Jacks. You know, one thing I'll say about the Jack Russells, he's a good lap dog, a good thing. If he gets out the door, he's gone. He do not listen. He bolts, he is running, and I got to chase his little butt down. Now, he doesn't run as far as he used to because he's old, but he still could get up down and get on down the road, that's for sure. He is, they don't mind very well. If I get another dog, I want to make sure I get one that'll mind because wife and I plan on doing some traveling, and I don't want to be chasing after a dog. You know, I'm in my 50s. I don't need to be doing that, and I got a bad bum hip on top of that. Thanks to the military. Thank you, Army, for jacking up my hip. So it looks like the worst of the winds is going through the Greensboro area. Again, anywhere in that intense line in there is bringing that wind energy down here. This is where you're going to see those 60-mile-per-hour winds. Got a new warning came out. Let's see what we got here. Wait for it. Wait for it. Wait for it. Wait for it. Heard the tone. Where you at? Come on. Did it pop somewhere else? No, it should be right there. Sometimes there's a lag. It'll give you the alert. There it is. I heard the alert. I know it's coming. There it goes. All right, so we get possible tornado in this one because of the spin in that's being detected there. Alamance County, northeastern Randolph County, eastern Guilford County. I hope I'm saying that right. Goes till 10:30. Severe thunderstorm was located along east of extending from Lawsonville to near Randleman, moving northeast at 80. Oh man, I gotta save that one. I gotta take a picture of that one. I don't think I've seen one that high. That's one I'll definitely will share later. Wow, that's what you call getting some gusts. Wow. That is something. 80 miles per hour. God, I don't think I've ever seen that. I've seen 70, but not 80. That's hauling. I mentioned earlier, one of the storm chasers posted something where one over in Mississippi was going 120 miles per hour. He says, that's got to be a mistake. I said, I don't know, man. But I saw one here doing 80. That's interstate speed, man. That's hauling. Again, you got a very strong southerly winds here that coming in at about 2,000 feet out ahead of that pinnacle that's kind of sweeping on through there. So that's why it's so easy. When you see them moving that speed, you know you got a tremendous amount of wind energy that's there. Let's see if SPC's got a new. Let's see, they've updated that severe look yet. Hold on, let me look quick over here. Nope, not yet. I keep looking to see if they're gonna get the new warning out here. Hunter. Oh, how you doing there, Marine? Do you know why the Marines love the U.S. Army? Because Marines need heroes. I'm sure you've heard that joke before. Yeah, I did 30 years, man. Did 30 years on top of trying to do a TV career, which was very tough. Back in 2016, I just went ahead and went full-time military and rode that out until I retired in 2023. It was my military, when I was an Army reservist. I would call myself a hybrid because I did 10 years on active duty, man, and I did 6 deployments. So, but yeah, it's definitely tough to be away from family and stuff. Hey Hunter, are you still a Marine or are you retired? Are you still in or are you retired? So I want to thank the new, let's see here, we got to, oh, thank you, the new subscriber. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Again, you guys help the algorithm out. It really helps the broadcast when y'all subscribe to the channel, leave comments down like Hunter and Willow and Cover are doing, and give it a thumbs up. That really helps the algorithm here. When you're a struggling small channel and we're getting 10 to 15 people watching at a time, kind of in that range, requires your participation to help continue the broadcast. Because if I don't say a word and don't say anything, it'll just drop down to nothing. There'll be a handful of folks who will watch, and that'll be it. Because the turnover rate, let's see what we're doing on the turnover rate right now. We are up to, well, we're coming up a little bit. We're up to 4 minutes and 49 seconds. So every 4 minutes and 49 seconds, people are coming in and coming out. So right now we've got 20 likes, So for you folks out there watching right now, before you leave, just leave a like. I'd appreciate it. I'd love to add you as a subscriber. That'd be a nice thing to have too. I do a regular weather update, and I try not to go too crazy. I try to get the thumbnails where at least you look at it, but I don't give you a broadcast where I'm hyping a storm to death saying, we're all going to die, like that TikTok idiot out there. I forget the guy's name. That guy is absolutely off the charts bad. You were over in Afghanistan during the evac. I was in Kuwait at the time. We were evacuating all our signal guys out of. I was in Afghanistan in 11 and 12 during the surge back then. It was all over Kabul and RC. I was the RC Capital, RC North ComSI, which is your Communications Infrastructure Director, signal officer. So yeah, I'm very familiar with that whole area. But that was a big goat rope, man. And we all saw it coming too. I'm sure you did. We did. I'm like, when the President Biden said we were going to be getting out of there in September, like, okay, how many bets? I was giving it 6 months, and that was in April. I thought they'd make it to October, and in August, of course, it fell. I mean, it didn't take a rocket scientist to figure out what was coming. All right, hey, up to 21 likes. All right, you guys keep it going, man. Keep it going. Because we've added 6 new subscribers today. So again, I appreciate that. Thank you. I think one of the weirdest YouTube followings I saw during a severe weather event on one of the other channels. He had a much bigger audience, so he had more stuff. His subscriber meter, which I don't have posted on this particular product, it was moving like a damn speedometer. It was like subscribe, 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 and he was getting so excited. It was like, dude, I thought he was going to have a marijuana high there for a second because his subscriber thing was moving like crazy. So I don't think I've had a little bit. I think during a couple of my hurricane coverages, I had one that was kind of moving like that. But it's been pretty much a fight for me ever since I hit 5,000. And I think it was early October. It's been a dogfight. Oh, wow. Okay. Look at this. You were, yeah. I mean, there was no reason for us to pull out of it the way we did. I mean, we had invested all it really wasn't costing us too much money to do what we were doing over there. I mean, I knew we eventually had to get out, but it really wasn't costing us anything, and really set them up for failure. I had talked with a lot of the Afghans there, so it's very tough for me. Psychologically, mentally, it's bad for me to even think about it. So anyway, let's get back here to the weather stuff where I got a couple of military veterans talking stuff. Again, if you're new to the channel, I want to welcome you on board. My name is Greg here on the Weather Nerds channel, soon to be rebranded the Georgia First Alert Weather Center because I'm based out of Georgia. And the Weather Nerds, what's the branding, just didn't seem to be working very well for us here. So I'm going to make a little bit of the change to hopefully try to get the channel to grow a little bit. So if you're new to the page, if you consider subscribing, great. It helps the algorithm. We're averaging about 5 minutes on our viewership here for today. So as you leave, please give me a thumbs up. Leave me a comment. Let me know where you're watching from. It does help with the algorithm a little bit. And if you do decide to subscribe, I want to say thank you. Welcome aboard, and kind of welcome you on board here. I do a daily weather daily regularly. I didn't do one today because I just was tired from severe weather coverage yesterday for Georgia, which is where I'm based out of. So I decided, I'm just going to do some severe weather coverage today. Why not? Let's do some coverage here. And we've got 125 folks watch this morning, and it's been great. So let's go ahead and take a look here at the latest here as you're kind of joining us here. Again, we're watching. I'm waiting for a new box to be put up here that's going to cover Southern Virginia, I think, and basically the rest of the North Carolina coastal areas over toward Kitty Hawk as the storms continue to push off toward the east. The model data is indicating here that this line will probably intensify a little bit as it continues to move to the east. Hey, Modest Damon. Hey, good to see you there, brother. Yeah, good to be up here for today. Yeah, I've lost a little bit of my heart to do these that often, just because when the big boys are on, they steal all the oxygen out of the room. There was an event I was doing. I don't think there's a lot of people covering this morning, so figured I'd go ahead and do it today. But man, I couldn't get any traction. Welcome up there in Seattle. Boy, I know you guys are probably ready for a break from the weather out there for some of the rain y'all have had. But it is Seattle, of course. So again, good to see you there. Welcome back. So right now, for those who are just wondering, well, I've got the severe weather we got today. I am expecting a couple of more severe weather potentials coming out. I was just looking at the European long range, the 0Z. The 12Z will be coming in around the noon hour. And it looks like there's a couple more potential severe weather events, again, mostly in the south, heading toward the 14th and 15th, and again on the 20th. So there's a couple more out there. Again, that's still a ways off. Once we get inside 7 days, then we can kind of lock in anything. One thing I like to advise folks when you're going out on YouTube or looking at any kind of weather source, again, try to get somebody that is actually a trained meteorologist who knows what the hell they're talking about. I will say there's some weather entrepreneurs, enthusiasts out there that have some basic weather knowledge, and they're not bad, but just be careful. And then watch out for those guys that are clearly going with a clickbait, worst case scenario, over the top stuff. It's not very responsible, and it kind of numbs y'all a little bit. And I think that's dangerous. So I don't want to numb y'all when we get severe weather. This event here is a good one. It's an atypical setup because the jet stream energy is so high. It is unusual because it's being driven by a very intense low. It's kind of sitting over Chicago. So it's a very unique setup here. One thing I want to notice, I mentioned this earlier. You see this very heavy line in here. But the one thing you're not seeing with that line is lightning. There's no lightning with this. It's like, well, how can you have a severe thunderstorm warning with no lightning? Because it's all being driven by dynamics. Strong wind shear. That's what's driving this train with these rainstorms. We'll call them rainstorms because they're not thunderstorms. Now, as this thing progresses further off toward the east, we do have a little bit of daytime heating. We may see a little more lightning come in there. It is forecast to pulsate back up here. So we're dealing with two elements of the storm. Again, being driven by this bad boy right here, this big intense low pressure system, which dropped to 980 millibars. 979 millibars is a Category 2 hurricane. So we got a land hurricane basically with this thing. And it's got these little pinwheels here of energy kind of breaking off around it. And where we're seeing the front riding through, that's what's lining up that severe weather there across the Carolinas and Virginia right now. So as we take a look at the severe weather breakdown, again, I'm just kind of see if they've updated this again. They have not. So we're still in that enhanced area. And let me check with the Storms Prediction Center. I'm waiting to see if they're going to have a new watch box come out here. The current one goes until 1 o'clock. So let me take a look at this. Always got to do the update here. That's the current one. Yeah, still got the mesoscale, so we're still waiting to see. Watch unlikely to the south. Yeah, the southern one's no watch down there towards Florida, but severe watch possible. Still waiting to see whether they're going to issue a new watch box. So what I'm talking about is this area in Virginia. We're getting some of the severe weather into Virginia, but the watch box basically only cuts off like right here. So the watch is basically all in the Carolinas, but does not include South Virginia. I think it does need to include there, to be honest with you. Just need to have that. So you have to watch that closely here. Let's check on the likes here. Hey, up to 24 likes. Thank you guys. Woo, keep it going. Keep doing those likes. That's again, those likes help. And what's interesting, another thing on YouTube, if you've never done a YouTube track, you can see the tracker of the viewership as it goes up and goes down, as it fluctuates. So as you guys do the likes and the subscribes, the meter starts to go up. When I don't ask and I don't repeat myself, it starts to dwindle right back down. So it's part of that whole nature of doing a YouTube. I hate doing it because that's not really, I don't like doing that. But if you want to play the game, you got to play the game. And oh, thank you. Got a new subscriber there. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Up to 5843 right now. So we've added 7 new subscribers this morning. Thank you very much. It's been hopefully I can live up to your expectations and give you guys weather stuff here on a regular basis, whether it be a live event like this or one of my weather dailies, which I'm getting ready to rehaul. I'm going to redo that thing. Probably get rid of some of the clutter and just kind of go Okay, here's our current map. Here's where the outlook as far as active weather is concerned, or the short term, and then here's my weather data. I'm just going to go right into it. So I'm gonna kind of speed it up a little bit and kind of get more into the weather analysis part of it. Don't know if I'm going to keep my green screen. I'm hoping if my local channel gets off with my sponsors and stuff like that, I'm going to put an LED video wall up over here. I don't like using the chroma key because it looks like crap. So hopefully we'll get a decent weather wall going. All right, let's go look at this severe weather here. I want to go back over to velocity mode. I want to see here what that. Oh, look at that sharp dividing line. Look at that. Wow. Find me where the highest winds are. You think they're up in here? I think so. Let's take a look at the winds in here. 64, 69, 64, 67, 64. So you know we got some high winds in there. That is for sure. Coming in. There's a little bit of what we call a vortmax in here. It's a little spin up. That's why I was watching to see if that possibly becomes tornadic, but looks like it's not. So we're falling. You got one radar here, which is we're closer to this one, and you got this one way the heck over here, and you got this one there to the south. So we got three different radars. It's kind of falling in between them, getting ready to fall in between them. So I gotta bounce around a little bit, kind of check and see which one's picking up where. I see that one's too far away. Obviously, you can't see very well that one. So, but this one's close enough. And the reason why it's too far away, and that also indicates the fact that these are low top rainstorms. We're talking probably 25, 30,000 feet. The winds are very, very high, 2,000, 3,000 feet off the surface. So the fact that we've had some of these moving at 80 miles per hour tells you all the wind energy that's with this thing. Kind of snaking along. Put that back in motion here. Well, I got three. What's interesting is we've got 3 active warnings, but look at the size of these watch boxes, man. These are 3 warnings. That might as well be 6 or 7 of them, but they're huge, gigantic, just big old gigantic watch boxes, severe thunderstorm warnings where there's no thunder. Absolutely no thunder with these. All right, let's go back over here. I want to look at see if the new model run's coming in here. Let's take a look here. All right, 13 of these all the way done. I might have to go to North Georgia tonight. I might need to go up there, maybe do a little snow chasing if we get any snow. Let me show you the latest model here. It is now 10 o'clock, so we're going to show it right there. So this is the latest high resolution model. So we're watching, again, this portion of the line. I want you to watch very closely here. Also watch the color spectrum, okay? So obviously the more reds you get, the more intense it is. So you're going to be looking down at this, you're looking down here at the scale down there to the south, okay? So watch what happens with this as I project this off toward the east. You see it start to go back up? See the reds and yellows pulsing back upward as we get toward 12 and 1 o'clock? So it looks like we're going to see a little more intensity with this thing as this comes on through. So it's going to move on through, moves off toward the east, and it re-intensifies. So that's why, and this is going up to 2, 3 o'clock. Now the current watch box only goes up to 1. So I believe a watch box will be extended all the way to the coastline, southeast Virginia, and into the eastern portions of North Carolina. And then I'm going to be watching, being the weather geek that I am, I'm going to watch this back here across North Georgia. I see a little snow there. So I'm going to watch that here going into tonight. But that is the track right now on the latest model runs. Let me back that up here a little bit. I'll go back over to the radar. Hey, Bethany. Berkeley, South Carolina, getting a little lightning down that way. Okay. Not seeing a whole lot of lightning with this, that's for sure. But let me bounce between the radars because it's the radars that are seeing the stuff. Not seeing much of anything with the lightning. Nope. Just not a lot, that's for sure. Seeing some more wind damage reports with this stuff. The thunderstorm, gusty winds. Let's see here. Tree down on roadway. A lot of trees being down with this, that's for sure. Here's some more damage reports up here. Let me get switched back over to this radar here. Tree down, power outages. Yeah, that is for sure. You're going to continue to see with the power outages with this. You see all these little black dots in here? Those are all storm reports. Here's one here. At least one tree blown down by thunderstorm winds at Harrison Street. Let's look at the power outage map. Haven't looked at that in a few minutes. So here in the state of North Carolina, now still holding 20,000. And South Carolina, let's see what South Carolina is reporting. South Carolina, not that bad, only 1,000. So the power outages have not been that bad. But that'll change, I think, especially if these storms pulse back up. Turn that off. Again, I want to welcome everybody here to the channel. This is the Weather Nerds channel, soon to be the Georgia First Alert Weather Center weather page, because I'm based out of Georgia. And again, we're watching these intense storms. As I just showed you there, we are expecting these storms to potentially pulse back up, waiting to see if the Storms Prediction Center will put out another box to include Southern Virginia, because they're not in that just yet. You see in there that the watch box is there in the yellow. So this is the current conditions. This goes until 1 o'clock. So I think we'll see a new one being issued that'll cover beyond that, probably up till 3 or 4 o'clock, and it'll cover Southeast Virginia and the rest of the North Carolina coastline, taking us out here toward this evening, so into the afternoon hours. So that's where we're seeing the greatest risk. Obviously, that's where the enhanced risk is. Very strong dynamics, a tremendous amount of wind shear with this stuff going up into this area. And that's what's driving this. And it's also a blizzard too. I mean, so you got the blizzard back here, and we got the severe weather back here. So you got the big low pressure system here setting up this winter event on the backside of this, and the severe weather down here. So just a very robust storm system. Not storm of the century type thing, not like the 1993 storm by any stretch, but it's definitely pinwheeling here with these different frontal systems. So we got the one frontal system coming in through now. You got this next one that's coming into my area across North Georgia here a little bit later, heading into tonight. So if you could do me a favor before you guys leave on out of here as we're doing the coverage, please hit that like button. If you're not a subscriber, you would like to get the straight Eddie on severe weather like this, or weather dailies I do update on a regular basis, please hit that subscribe button. I try not to go over the top. I try to give it to you straight-faced, without treating every storm like it's the storm of the century. Now, this is a good, strong, powerful storm. Don't get me wrong. It's definitely a good one. I was promoting it over the weekend as a blizzard and a severe weather event, and it's met those expectations. Somebody was actually accused me of hyping up nothing. I'm like, dude, I'm the last person to do that. Please don't. So if you consider subscribing to the channel, I'd appreciate it. And my subscriber alert's not working today. Normally I use Streamlabs. It does alert me to when we have new subscribers. So I just go into my app and I'll double check it there. So if you do subscribe, I just want to say thank you. Appreciate you coming on board. And again, leave that like. Leave me a comment. Let me know where you're following from. We got Bethany down in South Carolina. Modest Damon, he's up there in Seattle. So we get a nice little variety of folks here from across the country. Not looking bad here for the folks across the southeast, except for all the wind. Oh, that's the other part I forgot to mention about this. Look, I mean, how often do you see that much brown on the map? Those are wind advisories coming from Florida all the way up into Wisconsin, just to showing the sheer wind energy with this system. I'm kind of surprised they don't have wind advisories there into Virginia, except, excuse me, the areas out there toward the west. But yeah, this is a big, giant windmill, that's for sure. Go back over here to the local radar here. Go back in. The radar that I'm using, by the way, if you're interested in the app, it is called Radar Omega. It is a paid service if you want to get that. If you want to know what this is up here, this is called Weather Call Next Gen. It's a service, not an app. It's a great thing to have, by the way. We're partners with this. So if you were to download that QC code and you want to get the app, it's $15 a year. So we're talking about $1.25 a month. It's really inexpensive. So what's really cool about it is that it's a call service. So you'll get if you signed up for it, you would get a call from me doing a text message there, and you get it in your phone and you save it as weather call on your phone. And when there's severe weather like this, so for example, let's go into a city. Let's say that you are in Swepsonville. Let's say that's where you're at. I'm right there. So the alert comes out, you're going to get a call. That's going to alert you immediately, say, and it's going to be my voice, by the way, because I'm the guy doing it. And it'll say, hey, this is Greg Majeski from the North Georgia First Alert Weather Center. There's a tornado warning in your area. Take immediate shelter. And with that, you get a text message. It also gives you a radar image with your dots so you know exactly where you are in relation to that severe weather. I love that feature. And you get that, and it keeps you up to date. And it's really great to have at nighttime, especially for nighttime events like we had across the Southeast. You just make sure you got your ringer on, you get the call, you look at it, oh, it's weather call. Oh, we got a tornado warning. Let me go to my safe spot. It's a great service, so really check it out. And if you're interested here, I haven't posted it down below in a hot minute. I'll go ahead and put it there in the chat. So let me do that real quick. It also helps to support the channel too, by the way. It does help me out too. So if you're interested, you can do that. So I will put this here in the chat. And it goes right there. Boom. You just go to that link and you can fill out the stuff. There's also a little video there you can watch as well. It'll tell you about it. Let's go ahead and pull this back out here again. And thank you for the folks there leaving the likes right now. We are currently up to, what's our like count up to now? We're up to 25 likes. Good. Yeah, keep those likes coming, guys. I appreciate that. Keeps it nice and steady on our audience. All right, let's go back over here. We're averaging 5 minutes and 12 seconds per viewer. All right. So I'm expecting some new warnings to come out here pretty soon. I keep going back to the SPC because I keep checking to see if they've got the new watch box. They say watch as possible. They don't tell you exactly when they're going to do it sometimes. Sometimes they do. I'll double check that. The probability of the watch box they have at 60%. I'd put one up. That's just me. I would do it. Low-level buoyancy. Yeah, that's what I was saying. You get a little bit of daytime heating, these storms should intensify, and that's what's showing up on the high-resolution model data. So I'm just waiting on them. I'll keep checking back on them. Absolutely. Oh, boy. Hey, Melissa. Got Melissa from Virginia Beach waiting on the storms. Yeah, those are going to come in late for you guys, Virginia, there, Melissa. I will show you since you're there. And again, I like to give personalized service. That's kind of my thing. I like to do that. So let's go back over here to the model data. Let me get that up for you real quick. So you're out there on Virginia Beach. So the timing coming into your area looks like late afternoon. So we're talking about 4 or 5 o'clock. And coming into that area. So I know you're sitting right down in there. So that's the timing right now, late afternoon. And that is when prime heating is. So you get a little bit warmer air. The storms will be a little more robust as it's approaching your area. So watch out for that. Strong gusty wind, 60 miles per hour. Could not rule out an isolated tornado or two, especially along that squall line as it exits the coastline there. So watch out for that for late afternoon, okay? Be careful in your area. Stay aware of that. Now, I will not be broadcasting that late. I got some things I got to do this afternoon. So, but I want to be on here for a couple more hours. So I'll continue to watch it with you. So make sure you pay attention. Make sure you got a good weather app on your phone or a weather call. You can set it for that too. So anyway, let's go back here to the radar here. Look at the velocity. You want to see how the winds are doing. Don't like that radar. I don't like that one either. Yeah. You can see where the boundary is. It shows up so nicely. Here's the boundary right through there. As that's pushing off, it's kind of like snaking. It's like one big giant snake. Hey, got a new subscriber, Janet Lee from Daytona Beach. Well, hello, Janet. Welcome on board. Thank you for subscribing to the channel. I appreciate you checking us out here. Hopefully, we keep you in tune to what's going on for this upcoming hurricane season. We had a couple of good hurricane audiences with Helene, for example, and Michael. Not Michael. What was it? What was the M storm? Mitch. What was the M storm? I'm having a brain fart. The M storm. Hey, Janet, what was the M storm down there? I forgot the. I know it was the M storm. I'm having a brain fart on the name of that storm. But anyway, Helene and the M storm down there. Daytona. Y'all got raked with all those tornado warnings, but we had a big audience for that. So hopefully we won't get a repeat performance. But if you want to keep up on the hurricane season, this is definitely the place. I like to consider myself a little bit of a hurricanes are kind of my thing. I got to work with the John Hope and Steve Lyons at the Weather Channel way back in the late 90s, and I learned a lot from those guys. So definitely something I take a lot of pride in. I'm pretty good with my hurricane forecasting, and I was definitely very good with the storms this year. I'm going to pat myself on the back there. Yeah. Oh, got a new warning. All right, got a new warning. We were waiting on this. All right, so got a new warning here. This expires the next 40 minutes. This is for Moore County, southeastern Montgomery County, southeastern Randolph County, western Lee County, and Chatham County. It goes till 10:45. Severe thunderstorm is located along a line extending from 9 miles northwest of Silver City to 11 miles south of Bisco, moving northeast at 45. 60-mile-per-hour winds. Surprised they put penny hail in there. I don't think there's any hail in this. I do not think there's any hail in that. Let me look. No, there's no hail in that. There's a thing called the vertically integrated liquid called the VIL. If it doesn't light up, you got no hail in that. There's no hail in there. These storms are not high enough for hail. No high hail. I'll tell you one thing I've been noticing. Look at all these damage reports in here from these top part of that cell. See all those little black dots in there? These are all storm damage reports. So we got quite a few storm damage reports here. Here across northern portions of North Carolina going into southern Virginia right now. Milton, that was it. Thank you. Thank you, Tom. Yes, it was Milton. I was having a brain fart. I was thinking about Michael because Michael was, of course, that was the one in 2018 that hit Panama City. Had a lot of relatives down in that area. So, but I guess I know it's not Michael, it's Milton. Thank you very much. Thank you for my old timers moment there. Milton was unique because it reminded me of Hurricane Ivan. When I was working in Panama City, Milton had all the tornadoes for hours there that raked across the system. Milton was transforming from a true tropical system to a hybrid, and it was that squall band turned into like a cold front, and as it was pivoting through, there was like unbelievable amount of tornadoes. We actually caught 2 tornadoes live using the Florida DOT cameras. Caught 2 of them. It was shock enough to catch 1. The fact that we caught 2 during that live broadcast, I was like, man, I know exactly where to look. I was very glad I was able to do that. But obviously there was a lot of damage with those things, and there were a few deaths. That was really bad to see. Hopefully we don't have a repeat this year. All right, we're up to about 170 new views here this morning. Great. Goal was to get to 250. Goals get to 250 before I decided to, I'm going to stay on here till about 12. I'm going to stay on until about 12 today. Because I got to take care of some business this afternoon. So again, thank you for that new subscriber there. I like that. Always love getting new subscribers. Yeah, there showed up. You're up 5844. Thank you very much. That's awesome. Yeah, I think it was like last April. Kova, you're going to remember this. Last April, I was doing severe weather coverage for Tennessee. It was before I figured out how the damn algorithm worked. And I was about ready to just hang it up, man. I wasn't going to do this anymore. And because the big players were out there doing their stuff, and I couldn't hold on. I was like, how could I not hold on to an audience? This is good stuff. And it was like nothing there. And then one day it just clicked. And we figured it out, and it's like, okay, dummy, you got turnover. You're going to get people every 5 minutes. You got to get them to do this certain thing, or the algorithm's going to drop your butt. I had to look that up, and then, I got learn by doing. So it's getting really close to the city of Durham here in Raleigh. We're not too far from there. Let me hold this. How many miles we're from there now? So we are approximately about 50 miles. So moving east about 40, 45, still up about an hour away here. Maybe about 11:30-ish. Oops, turn that off, dummy. Okay, look, stop it. Yeah, all right. Coming up on 200. Boy, that's going to be sweet. Going to be sweet. I do need to start taking, if I can't compete against the big guys, and I know I can't. I mean, it's just the nature of the beast. I do need to pick these smaller type events to take opportunities to do these small audiences, add a few subscribers, because I don't like for it to be stagnant. I obviously want to see it grow a little bit every day there. So I do need to do the ones that maybe outside of Max Velocity guy who's on for every one of these things because he's got no life. Poor kid. Hate it for him. I love his passion, but boy, he does nothing else but his channel. Hey, yes, Kova is my unofficial. What's the word I'm what's the word I'm looking for? You're president of my fan club. There it is. That's the word I'm looking for. President of my fan club. Yeah, I'm definitely watching the northern part of this line, and the reason why I'm watching the one that's right in the boundary is just because of the sheer number of storm reports with that cell up here. Unfortunately, this particular radar sensitivity, oops, turn that off, is not very good because it's 55, 58, 58, near 60, 58. So still showing some good winds up there. Still showing those good winds. And there's another little, again, a little Vortmax. I see it in the reflectivity right there. Got to watch that one. This one up here is flattened out. Now, when I say Vortmax, it's kind of a mesoscale, which means small. It's like a mini low pressure, kind of spitting in the overall jet stream flow. And when you get these little eddies, these little Vortmaxes, sometimes you can get tornadoes to spin off them. Now, because of the wind profile that we're seeing with the high wind shear, again, we're talking the low end of the tornado scale. We're talking EF0 to EF1, maybe up to 80, 90 on the outside, but kind of mostly in that 60 to 80 mile per hour range for potential winds there. Hey, Tom, what you got there? South Central Iowa, we're getting, oh, God, yeah. You're in Iowa? Oh, yeah. Well, we got to go to that. Yeah, what you guys have been getting with this, and I had somebody blow me up when I was saying, oh, you're going to be in a blizzard this week. Oh, you're hyping up nothing. I said, that ain't nothing, man. I mean, look at it. We're in the 30s over there. I mean, that's unreal. I mean, we got temperatures here in the 30s. You got a 980, almost a Category 2 low pressure system just north of Chicago, and you're getting those high winds in there. That's just unbelievable. March blizzard. That is for sure. Oops, let me clear that out. Sorry about that. Let me put this back down here. That is one heck of a storm, that's for sure. Not a ton of snow with that. Not very high snow totals, but enough, that's for sure. Bethany says she's hearing some rumbles of thunder. All right, well, we're getting maybe that again as we're getting the daytime heating. That's not out of the question to get some of this stuff to start firing up some thunder. Haven't seen a whole lot. You're down here in the Carolinas area. I'd switch radars here. Oops. I don't know why it does that sometimes. Sometimes I gotta give it help. Let's go down to Columbia here. Yep, I see some down there in Charleston. Yeah, there's one. I see one lightning strike down there in the Charleston area. Let me go back and look radar. Here we go. Got a little lightning there. Yep, I just saw the lightning. There he goes, Charleston. Yep, right there. I see one little lightning strike right near Hollywood. So, yep, got a little lightning there. So I can confirm that Bethany did, in fact, hear a little thunder in her area. Not much. The southern part of this line is very, very weak. Everything up here is up here toward the top. You see the difference in the radar signature. Much, much bolder. So the wind shear and the wind dynamics are much stronger here across North Carolina and Southern Virginia than we're seeing down in the Carolinas. So, Bethany, you ain't got to worry about too much. You get some rain a little bit there, but it shouldn't be too bad. So again, if you're new to the channel, you can do like Bethany. You can put your little questions and stuff down in there and leave a comment and stuff, and I can pull that up. Helps the algorithm. So please do the thumbs up, do the comment, and if you like what you see and like to be a subscriber, please hit the subscribe button as well. Because let me see, what was our last count up to? We're up to 28 now. 28 there on the likes. Thank you guys. Appreciate that. And we're holding steady. Our average view time right now is 5 minutes and 49 seconds. 5:49. I have 175 views, and we're trying to get to 250. And you might be asking, well, why does he want to get to 250? Well, because when I do a normal weather daily update, which I decided not to do today because I was tired from last night and I want to do severe weather coverage, I typically average about 250. So the goal is to get to 250 views on the live coverage today. Again, I appreciate you guys checking us out. Yeah, a little bit. You can't get radars, can't get 100% coverage, that's for sure. What I don't like about the different radars is the fact that some of them are got the new stuff and some of them are old pieces of junk. So they're all not been updated. Baron Services is doing the upgrade on that. Oops, I got a text message here. Stand by. Let me check here. Okay, she was just checking out my stuff. So I'll have to do an update on that here shortly. Probably do one here in a second. So anyway, let me go over here and check this little video here. I want to check on something real quick. So stand by for a second while I go check here something out. And I'm gonna go to, I gotta do a posting over here. So stand by here for a second. Let me do this real quick. This is toward 8 o'clock here, so let's do Snow GA. All right, I'm gonna do a little posting here real quick. Hey, thanks, Willow. I appreciate. Glad you're enjoying the stream. Absolutely, thank you very much. I do appreciate that. And we're up to, let's see, just double checking here. Yeah. In order to do one of those instances where you get the subscribers to kind of just roll like crazy, I would probably need to have at least several hundred viewers going on at one time, which we're not going to get for something like this, obviously. Not like this. But it's good that we added, there was eight new subscribers to the channel today. So I'm like, that's a good day. I'm all thumbs up for that. Let's go here real quick. I need to do a quick posting over here. Let me do this real fast. If you bear with me for a second. Don't want to do a quick posting here real quick. So I gotta add this to my page real quick. Share. Oops, sorry. Let me add this real quick. Sorry, real quick. Into Thursday. Sorry about that. I was waiting for another run on the model data here before I posted something here. I'm going to do this real quick. And I'm almost done. I do all these damn hashtags. Maybe I do too many of them. All right, there we go. We have to go give me another drink here in a minute. Not now. All righty, 180. All right, got a new band here on the radar. Let's go back over here and take a look at this. They're trimming away that box. So we're going to see, there's going to be a whole bunch of new warnings getting ready to come out here very shortly. Probably right into this category. Probably coming into the city of Durham here very shortly. Durham and into Raleigh, Wake Forest area. It's so weird to see a squall line like this with the rain falling out ahead of it, running out of south at a high rate of speed. The high winds embedded in this intense line of very heavy rains. And I do suspect once we get after 12 o'clock, that's when things should begin to spike a little bit with the stuff. So again, before you guys head on out of here, again, if you passing through one of that 5 minute and whatever minute that we're watching, please do me the favor and hit that like button. Very important that you hit that like button to give us a like. And if you've subscribed, great. Thank you. Welcome aboard on board there. Leave me a comment down below. It does help with the YouTube algorithm. As I'm watching my little track here, if you don't do that, it'll start dropping off. So you got to stay consistent with the promotion of the channel or you lose your audience. And I'm going to try to stay on here till about 12. Just double checking some stuff here real quick. Okay. Alrighty. Yeah, my Facebook, to show you a comparison of how my local Facebook does compared to the YouTube one. All my live updates I did for North Georgia yesterday had an accumulation viewership of some 33,000 views. Yesterday, my 5-hour broadcast averaged, had a total of about 250 views on YouTube. So a little bit of a disparity between the two, that's for sure. All right. Yeah, waiting to see. I don't know what. Keep going over here to the. No, that's not updated. Just double check, make sure that's not updated. Watch warnings. Nope, still nothing new there. Like I said, I'm still waiting to see. I'm waiting for the area that they've got highlighted is right up in here. So this is where the next watch box should be coming out. It includes Southeast Virginia and the rest of the Carolina coastline going to Virginia Beach and down toward Wilmington and stuff. That area should go out until probably at least 4, I would think. Maybe 4 or 5 o'clock. Maybe a little later. I don't think it even clears off the coast till 6, 7 o'clock. But that's where I'm waiting to see if they're going to get a new box in that area. Oh, new warning. Where we got? Swing back over here. Where's the new box? Got to wait for it. Sometimes the alert goes off before it actually plots. So we got to wait for it here for a second. Heard the alert tone. Where are you? There it is. we were waiting on that one. So we were just waiting for that to fill in. So this is coming into Durham. Big watch box. All right, so this is for Eastern Alamance, Person County, Orange County, Durham County, and Northeastern Chatham County goes until 11:15. Severe thunderstorm located line extending from Tuberville to Prospect Hill to near Goldston, moving northeast at 45, wind gusts to 60 miles per hour, which has been pretty much the standard, especially on the northern part of this line. Just looking at all the storm reports back here. Well, we got a lot of reports coming in here. Trees uprooted or snapped, roof blown off near, I hate seeing that. Intersection of Cox Store Road. That's terrible. Somebody's house. Tree uprooted, blown into intersections. Seeing big old trees getting offloaded. Tree observed blown down into Church Road, partially blocking traffic. Another tree down. Yeah, it's knocking down. Northern part of this line, boy, that wind has been very, very intense up here. Very intense. So I'm looking at some of the coverage here. It looks like Porter Ridge High School. They're in North Carolina. Oh, I got to get this. This is the VA calling. Stand by, guys. All right, sorry about that. That was one of my dad's VA doctors had to deal with little chat there. So he's all good. His blood work came out good. Just a couple of minor things. They were going to give him a couple of supplements. So there you go. Pop's doing good. My dad's a Vietnam veteran. He lives about 2.5 miles down the street, which is where I got to go see him later this afternoon. I appreciate that. So let's get back to our coverage here. I know my stuff drops off because I was on the phone. I apologize for that. Again, before you guys leave, do the thumbs up. Give me a subscribe if you can. Leave a comment down below. I apologize for having to put you on hold there for a second. So let's get back and watch this severe weather coming through here for right now. Again, we've had some very good coverage today, averaging 6 minutes per person. We've got 28 likes. That hasn't moved much there. So again, if you've already done the like, great. But if you haven't done the subscribe, do that as well. That does help with the YouTube algorithm, as we got to play games with that system. That's just the way it is, unfortunately. Let me double check and see if we've got anybody new for me to say hello and welcome aboard to. Nope, still holding the same. All right. I like to double check that. So if somebody subscribes, since my alert's not working and I don't know why, I'll have to go into my Streamlabs and figure out why I'm not hearing the alert tones on that. Because I am seeing it here. That's Tom came on board. At least one came through, but I didn't see the wave. It's supposed to let me know when somebody comes on board. Hey, Keegan, good to see you. Hey, Keegan, where are you watching from? We'll think about that for the future. I've got one moderator, a major I've got, who's a bit of a weather aficionado who does some moderations for me. But something we can look at in the future. So again, appreciate you guys checking out our little channel. Let's get back into our coverage here. All right, still waiting to see if we're going to get that new watch box, man. It's just, let me switch over to this. See how this is looking from this. That's all right. It's starting to look a little bit better from the Virginia Beach radar, but we still this is really still the best one right here. Ohio. All right. Well, welcome there, Keegan from Ohio. Good to see you. Good to have you on board as a new follower, a new subscriber, I should say. It's subscriber on YouTube. It's follower on Facebook. And boy, am I getting those mixed up here lately. Huh. Yeah, I'm not seeing a whole lot with rotation with this stuff. It's all, boy, you can see the snaky, buddy. Follow the snake all the way down. Now, if I was looking at any kind of rotation, where I would be looking is right there. That's where I would be looking. Because if you look for the little kink in the line, right, it's kind of broad though. But looking at the velocity mode on there, that's one area. That's probably the best one. So this needs to be watched here. This could potentially become tornadic right in there. And let me zoom in a little bit closer so you can kind of see what I'm looking at. See a little kink in the line, right in there. So it's kind of broad, but something to watch. Got that going. So I appreciate it. We're knocking on the door 200 viewers, man. We got to get to 250. Got to get to 250. Help me out, guys. Get that like, get that subscribe going. Leave a comment. Tell us where you're from. I got Keegan from Ohio watching. As we're watching these storms that should start to go up here in intensity as we get into the afternoon hours. Let me go back over here. I want to look at the hourly one here again. I'll look see if the new model's coming in. So stand by real quick. And let's go. There's the 14Z. All right, we got the 14Z, and let's go back and take a look at this. We got the new hourly in. And we're coming up on 11 o'clock, so we're going to leave it right there. So here we go. Let's look at the new high-resolution model data here. Let's get this going here. This is called the HRR, the 3 kilometers, so it's very sensitive, very tight. So it kind of looks like a reflectivity. It looks like what you would see on a radar. It's kind of a radar representation here. So the one thing you're going to notice here as we go into the afternoon, look how the intensity of that reds and yellows increase here into the afternoon hours. So as the air becomes a little more buoyant, gets a little bit warmer, even into the 60s, it helps the lift here a little bit because we got a tremendous amount of wind shear with this thing as this moves on through. And so we're expecting the intensity to pick up here with these storms here into the afternoon hours. Now, the current watch box only goes out till 1, but I'm expecting it to go a little bit later. Let's look here. I'm going to look here at another parameter for you. Let's do this. I want to talk about the low-level helicity, okay? So tremendous amount of helicity with this. Stand by real quick. Let me get this phone call. I thought that was a legitimate call. That was a telemarketer. You can always tell it's a telemarketer. If you answer the phone and you hear that boop, that little sound thing, you know it's a telemarketer. Just hang up. So here's the helicity. This again, we got a tremendous amount of helicity. The best helicity is moving off to the north, but still very high here. It's running above 300 here across the eastern portion of Tennessee. So we're right down into that part of the scale here, looking down here toward there. So, again, very high wind shear coming through here. And look at how it kind of sparks up here a little bit, even right along the coast there. going in toward 3 o'clock this afternoon. So this clears on out. So again, we got a tremendous amount of that in there. Let's look at the wind shear, the lower wind shear, a tremendous amount of wind shear. A lot of wind shear. See how it's rotating around the end of that trough? Very strong southerly winds here, wind shear going into this afternoon. So you got some very strong southerly winds coming in here. A lot of wind shear in here, changing winds with height. As you can see, you see the overall flow with that big trough and that big low pressure system. All right. Now, one thing we got a little bit of the tornado. This is a significant tornado parameter. As we get some daytime heating here in this afternoon, you see here across southern portions of North Carolina, it kind of spikes here a little bit. So we still got a little bit of that tornado parameters here coming here as well as it goes and moves on out to sea. So again, expecting things to deteriorate here a little bit this afternoon. And we can see a spike in tornado activity here going in for this afternoon as well. All right, switch back over here to local radar. So, oh, we got another light. 29, yeehaw! 29. Again, for a little broadcast like this, to get 29 likes out of 203 views, that's very good. That's a good ratio. Good ratio. What was the date of that? Ooh. All righty. Let me go double check here, make sure we ain't got anybody new to come on board here. Yes, we did. All right. Thank you for that new subscriber. All right. Like I said, my alert's not working today. I got to fix that. But we got a new subscriber here on the channel. Thank you very much. Thank you for joining us. That gets up to 9 new subscribers today. So this is what you would call a positive good day. All right. Let's go back over here to the radar again. Just kind of, again, watching the squall line coming on through here. And for you guys that are new to the channel, the best thing I can tell you, I do not do live on every event because the YouTube won't allow me to have any kind of traction when I do. Maybe if I get a little bit bigger audience, I will. But I definitely do weather dailies, and will keep you apprised of anything significant coming your way, for sure. And definitely keep you covered for upcoming hurricane season. Now that one, I'm definitely on board for hurricane season. I don't care if the Godfather takes everybody there because I love tracking hurricanes. That's just my thing. And we had good audiences for both our big hurricane coverage, regardless of his broadcast. So I was very happy with that. Let's go back in here to Durham. I'm going to look over at the velocity. I want to see how the winds are doing in here. Well, the northern part of this line looking pretty intense with the winds. 60, 67, 70. Higher winds have definitely shifted up to Virginia because they're higher up in here. 80. Again, this is up, the beam's shooting up, so it's going to be further up in the atmosphere. So you definitely could see those higher winds aloft, get a good downpour, like with a squall line. You can bring it right down with some 60-mile-per-hour winds very easily. Again, these are low blaze rainstorms, because that's what they are, rainstorms. Because you see, I'm looking at this radar. I got this going right here, and there's no lightning with this. So this is just rainstorms, big giant rainstorms, driven by very strong, wind shear and wind energy that's driving the system. And boy, look at all these damage reports. Quite a few. Wow, big old swath here through North Carolina going into southern Virginia. So a big swath of damage reports there. Yeah, tomorrow I got to take my dad to go see his cardiologist all the way in Atlanta, which is about 45 miles away from me. So that's a good drive. And it's a 2 o'clock appointment, which really stinks, which means by the time we get out of there, I'm catching rush hour traffic in Atlanta going home, which kind of stinks. But away it goes. Bethany, power just blinked in North Charleston. Really? For that stuff going through y'all? Boy, y'all need to look at y'all's power grid. I mean, that's not looking bad down there at all. I mean, you got some rain blowing through. Let's see what the winds are doing down there, just to kind of kick some giggles. Yeah, I got some wind. Yeah, some wind around there. north of Charleston. See, this is all off the ground, though. That's still pretty decent winds. 70 mile per hour, 78. Again, these are not at the surface. This beam is shooting at about third of a degree elevation. So this is a few thousand feet up. So it's going to need something to transport the rain down. So, for example, this little heavy rain burst here could bring some of that down. Oh, tree on a limb. Okay, all right, that wouldn't shock me. You got some gusts. There's still winds down there, no doubt, but no severe down in Charleston area. South Carolina's looking good. Everything's up here in North Carolina. That's where our watch boxes are. 2 of them, and boy, they're huge. Look at these 2. I mean, here's one, just gigantic, and here's the other one. That's 2. Now we're going to have new ones coming out here very shortly, out of that main line. As that continues to move off toward the east here. 206 viewers. All right, man. We only got to get 54 more, man. I said 250 is what I want to hit, man. 250. So that means before you guys clock out of here, whoever's passing through, got to go subscribe, got to do a like, got to give me a comment. Let me know where you're watching from. I like to interact with you guys. Kova, do what Kova says. Right there. There you go. Do what Kova says. Help the little channel out. Yeah, so I'm going to stay on here another hour and 20 minutes. Going to have to go to the restroom one more time because I'm drinking some of that diet soda, which goes through me like water. So stand by real quick. I'm going to give you one more. I got to keep the vocal cords fresh. I'm going to give you one more drink, and I'll be right back. Y'all stand by. Again, we're going to get some new warnings that are going to be issued out here just any second. All right, back, guys. Sorry about that. Up to 207. 53 more to go. Come on, guys. All right. Waiting for the new warning here to come out. Let me go back here to the SPC. I keep checking back here. I got to keep checking these guys. I do need to switch out where I do the watch warnings because this service that I use here, this is called Pivotal Weather. They don't update as quickly or as fast as I would like to see. They're a little bit slow. Hey, we got Jim here from Virginia. About to get hit. This is a very soon. Wind is picking up a bit. Oh, thank you, Jenny, for going and chiming in there. Hey, welcome aboard. Thank you. Yeah, it's definitely going to be picking up there across the southeastern portions of Virginia and the eastern portions of North Carolina. That is for sure. I mean, I really pay attention to the damage reports because the damage reports tell me where the most intense part of that line is, and it appears to be this is the most intense part of the line, riding the South Carolina and North Carolina border right now. I always pay attention to those. So again, hey, if you're new to the channel, again, I want to say thank you for coming on board here. If you would like to join our family, a personal invitation from me to you, please go ahead and hit that subscribe button if you can. Like the new subscriber that just bumped us up to 46. So we got 10 new followers today. Thank you very much. Again, that's a little game we got to play with YouTube. When we have a turnover in audience, you got to have people subscribing, you got to have people giving you likes, and you got to have people giving you comments. You do that thing, it allows you to maintain your audience to some degree. while you're doing a live severe weather event. If I do not ask that and say absolutely nothing, I'll be left with just a handful of my regulars, which are fine. I love you guys. Y'all know I do. But there's no potential to grow the channel. So obviously, if you're doing a YouTube channel, you want to see it grow. And I can't do it without y'all's help. And I do appreciate everybody coming on board here. And you guys can look forward to my weather dailies. I do little weather dailies, although I'm getting ready to overhaul that thing. I'm getting ready to update it here soon. To keep you up on par with what's coming, and without going overboard and hyping, this is a must watch. Watch this. This is this. This is it. Oh, please give me a break. All right. I want to give it to you right and steady. I'll give you the good information and not some BS. Oh, so. All right, let's go back over here. So kind of interesting that the northern part of this line is not severe here across portions of Southern Virginia. I guess it's kind of borderline on the winds, because you saw with these wind reports back here, we're sitting pretty robustly. So quite a bit. I'm going to draw a bigger circle there for you to see. So no warning in here yet. We'll see if that changes. I think it might. Another warning just dropped off. So we only got one warning right now. Wow. A little bit of a lull. I think this is a lull. I really do, because everything we just saw, and I just showed you the high resolution model data, is indicating as we go into the early afternoon hours that these things are going to pulse up. So I want to say everybody that's out ahead of this thing, if you're in Virginia Beach, Chesapeake, Elizabethtown, Kitty Hawk, Rocky Mountain, Greenville, Goldsboro, New Bern, all these cities out ahead of there, because I'm not going to be broadcasting later this afternoon. But if you are in those areas and you are watching, make sure that you guys are paying attention. Okay, these storms are going to flare up. I think there could be a few more isolated tornadoes potentially, obviously, and those strong gusty winds, which have been the hallmark of this entire system. Watch out for that. Now, the good news with these storms is that I think we're putting out all the dang wildfires, which is awesome. But we'll see what happens here. So watch for this. This will be coming into the late afternoon hours. Probably doesn't even clear the coastline here until we get to like 6, 7 o'clock tonight. So we got a few more hours. The activity is racing to the south at a high rate of speed, but the west-east motion is much slower. So we're getting a push from the upper levels at that level. And then you're also getting a low-level jet blowing above as well. So it's not getting a big push off to the east. All right, hold on one second. I got to go answer this question. We'll be right back. Stand by, guys. Hate when I'm trying to do two things at once. Don't interrupt my weather, damn it. All right, let's get back over here a little bit. Make sure before you all leave, get that thumbs up, man. Hit that thumbs, hit that like, hit that subscribe button. Do all those magical things that YouTube says you better do, or we're going to cut you off. We're up to 30 likes now. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. And we've added 10 new subscribers today. We're averaging 6 minutes and 32 seconds on the watch. So that's good. We got people watching pretty good here for today. All righty. My live yesterday is up to 300 views. I guess people come back and watch it after the fact. Ooh, okay. Let me send this. Somebody's asking me to see my other site. I got to do that. Come on, dang. All right, seeing what the SPC is looking at. Come on, what SPC? Why are you guys not putting out the... All right, I don't understand why they're being so slow. Because I would put out a new box, I really would. But I don't work out of Oklahoma City, so... All right, there's the discussion. All right, there it is, finally. God bless. Wait, no. All right, so they just issued a watch box. Let's see if this is updated. It may not have. Let's take a look here. Hold on a second. Okay, so they just issued, it's not showed up over here yet, but they just issued a severe thunderstorm watch box. That's basically, for those who remember the old watch boxes, it comes right up through here and right through there. So they got a watch box there, and then they got a new tornado watch. That one goes until 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And then that's the current watch. What's the other one? So they just added that one. They're probably going to add one more here to it, short, but they did add that new one. So that'll be updated here shortly. Let me see if that's updating at all. It'll take it a minute, but it'll post here in a second. So we do get the new watch box. Just came out. I just happened to catch it. Yep, I mean literally just caught it. So the car's at 6 o'clock. So we got our new watch box there. So let me see here. I can do my overlays here. I want to see if it shows up over here. All right, there they are right there. So there you go. See all those orange areas up there? That is your... There you can see both of them right there on this. So let me zoom in a little bit closer. So there is the areas there and those little outlines there in pink. That is your severe thunderstorm watch box. And then down here is your tornado watch box, goes until 1. So I suspect what they're going to probably end up doing is they're going to put a new tornado watch box that'll cover right through here, including Southern Virginia and into that area. So that'll be a new tornado watch box that'll go out till about 6, 7 o'clock, and then the other one will just be allowed to expire. So that's what we're seeing there. I'll keep that up. That way I can kind of keep track of since the other one's being so slow at updating. Yeah, they're slow. Being real slow. All right, here, just double checking a couple things here.
If it's not for you, don't submit an application. That's all.
All right. Okay. All right. Now, you know what? All right. I'm going to go ahead and shut down. You guys here in Virginia and in North Carolina, just watch for these storms to go on through. Just be ready to go here. But again, I want to rehash this one more time. Again, you're under that enhanced area for severe weather here for the rest of the afternoon. Expect to go up to about 6, 7 o'clock. There is a severe thunderstorm watch that's up into parts of Virginia, into the Delmarva area there, and then the southeastern portions there at Virginia Beach area, and then along the interior sections there into North Carolina. There'll be a new tornado watch that'll cover this area right in here that'll be issued here shortly. That'll take out the duration as the line begins to exit the eastern seaboard, okay? Again, this is being driven by that big area of low pressure here across the middle of the country right here that's driving those little spokes that are coming on through, and that'll clear on out of here very shortly. And tonight you'll see improved weather, although it's still going to be windy tomorrow, folks. Until this low kind of unwinds down, it's going to take a little while. It'll still be a little bit breezy heading into tomorrow. So that's going to do it for now. I did about a 3-hour coverage here. Yeah, about 3 hours, and good to go. I want to welcome aboard the new subscribers again. Thank you very much. I'm looking forward to serving you guys more here in the future, and we'll continue to do more little severe weather coverage events like this in the future, and really looking forward to when we get the more substantial outbreaks. Obviously, we're going to be going wall to wall, and we'll go wall to wall, especially for this upcoming hurricane season, and keep you guys alerted on what's going on there. So that's going to do it for now. I got some business I got to take care of here. It was fun to get with you guys, and we will talk to you guys a little bit later. Y'all have a good afternoon. Bye-bye.